And we're back finally for another Sopranos cast. Sorry we're a little late starting. Matt and I never talk to each other in real life, so we got into talking to each other now because it's been so long. But Matt, welcome to everyone. And these are one of our Sopranos live casts. If you haven't joined us for one of these, we're going to watch a couple of episodes of The Sopranos live and babble on it like we're all hanging out together and watching a couple of episodes. We hope all you guys are enjoying your day and night whenever you're watching this. And if you can watch along, watch along. If you can't, don't worry. We'll be able to give you context about what's going on and how everything's happening, just so you can make sure you understand what's happening in the episode. So we'll give you context to watch the episode, even if you're not watching with us. But it's always more fun if you set this up like one of those old school DVD commentaries. DVDs were things that before streaming existed that you put in Blu-ray players, but they were kind of different, but they were, a little lesser quality for those that don't know things. And no one would ever accuse Matt and I of being a varsity podcast. So, before we start, we need to get a little bit into some mathematics, Matt, here, which I know you always enjoy, or not real, true math. Okay, so let's talk about this because this is our first cast this year, our first Sopranos cast this year for season 5. In 2023. We did 10 episodes of this Sopranos cast. In 2024, we did 2. We did one in January and one in October. We haven't done this since October 2024.
And what's messed up is in October 2024, you and I still said we can finish season 5 this year. And like we had done episodes 1 and 2 in October, and we said we're going to finish it this year. And that never happened. We didn't do a single one again.
It never happened. I know my volume is a little iffy right now. I'm trying to fix it. I'm sorry to everybody if I'm suddenly going down and low. Let me know if this is better. Let me know if I'm louder now. Am I louder now? Okay, so let's see. So when we get to this episode, and we have about 16, 17 more podcasts to go, Matt, before we finish this off. So I think we can do it. I think we can do it this year. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, we can try. But no, we're not going to do it this year. But we're here to talk about it. Hopefully my audio is a little bit better now, loud and clear. Thank you so much. Sorry about that. I'm having some audio issues, but until we figure it out, I will have to do it this way. Okay, Matt. So these 2 episodes, we're in season 5. There's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about going into these episodes. These are 2 hugely packed episodes. The first of the 2, Where's Johnny? Do you know what's the one piece of interesting trivia about this particular episode, Matt? The volume went back down. Oh my goodness. But think about it, Matt. Think about what is special about this episode as I try to figure out the audio situation that is pissing me off right now, everybody. Sorry, the audio is pissing me off at the moment.
What's special about this episode? Maybe not the Larry David reference can't be what's special.
Mm-hmm. That is special, though.
It is special. I mean, it's the varsity. I don't know.
It is the one episode in the entire. It's the one episode in the entire series that does not have Carmela Soprano in it.
She's not in this one at all.
She's not in Where's Johnny at all. It's the only episode. And if I have to just hold my finger on this fucking button, we're going to be loud the whole time until I figure this out, everybody. I know it's tried to adjust, but no, I'm holding my finger on the damn button through the whole show, Matt. And until I fix this damn audio. But yes, it is the one episode without Carmela. And I don't know if I feel it, but you definitely notice something when you see her show up in the next episode we're going to be talking about. But let's keep on this episode. This is a big Feech episode and Paulie, and we get a real battle between the two of them. Do you know the story about the actor that played Feech?
So I got to be right back. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Mini emergency. I'll be right back.
Go for it. I'm assuming it is a dog-like emergency that Matt has to deal with. He'll be back in a second. But yeah, thank you, James, in the live chat, who gets some points. It is the one episode in the series where Edie Falco is not a part of. And it's very interesting on that regard. does it show? Do you really feel it? I don't 100% feel it. But I think it's still an excellent episode. Okay, so also in this episode, as we're waiting for Matt to come back, we have the whole Feech and Polly situation. And we got Phil fears Dre D'Amato. You bet I do. I fear Adriana Lacervo. She's a dangerous person. Dangerous. But the Polly and Feech thing is interesting. And I think initially I've read things, I've seen things, I've picked up cards and letters. And I don't know how accurate this information is, Matt, but I believe Feech was supposed to initially have a much bigger role. He was supposed to be on the show longer, but the actor either was not feeling the material or was in the early process of dementia or Alzheimer's, unfortunately, and could not really remember his lines, or David Chase and did not like improv on the set. And this Robert Logan, I think is his name.
Robert Loggia, yeah.
Loggia. He, in my Boston accent coming out, Robert Loggia. Dude.
No, there was like an old, I want to say it was SNL, but there was an old, maybe it was just a commercial where the whole reference was someone saying Robert Loggia over and over again. But it's like before our time.
Way before our time. It's like sit, upu, sit, good dog was our time, but it eventually changed and didn't. Would this audio, could somebody do some research on how to change the audio settings to make it not go up and down? Damn it. Okay, so yeah, it's the only.
Is this Al Dog? Is that the Alan that's in here? I'm assuming it must be. So yeah, Al Dog, if that is you, just say yes.
I'm sure when he was excited to see you, hearing you call him
wicked Loggia. I know he probably left now. I called him Al Dog.
Yeah.
He's gone.
The 2008. We have several issues people around. We have the 2018 music trivia champion Alan in the chat. We got the amazing Walking David co-host Walking David in the live chat. Of course, we have James Morant, we have John Haymaker, we have a few other folks popping out. We got Kelly. Thank you so much for that super chat, Kelly. So thankful. You bring the spaghetti, everybody. I woke up this morning. I got myself. He had Alzheimer's and couldn't remember his lines. And yeah, it is an unfortunate thing, but I think they do a good job of. I mean, essentially what I've heard is his storyline would have concluded the same way, Matt. He still would have, Tony wouldn't have taken him out by killing him. But these really are the two Feech episodes, right? These are his two big kind of, pun intended, I guess, his featured episodes. These are Feech's feature episodes.
Yeah, and he's great in it. I mean, for what he's in, you can kind of tell there's always been something a little bit off, and we can talk about it when it gets there, about the scene between him and Tony right before Tony makes the decision to send him back, where I can almost see him like struggling with his lines or almost not being able to deliver it the right way, and you can see it was kind of rushed. But overall, yeah, I mean, he's great in it though.
Yeah, I mean, the things that weren't great in these episodes, we'll definitely point out. We have one of the worst acting reads in anything by the amazing Diamond Dave. I used to ride off condoms. Was not the best line in The Sopranos.
No, we have two, and one in each episode, or maybe it's the same episode. We have two cameos with him, and we have Lawrence Taylor's also in it.
I forgot Lawrence Taylor. High on cocaine, guaranteed. Kelly Johnson, another super chat donation. Thank you, Kelly. Phil, who is the Cersei Lannister of The Sopranos? It would probably be Miss Janice Soprano, right? Or I mean, they talked about something on the Talking Sopranos thing. A couple things. When we get into, is it this episode that it's this episode that Tony and Janice get into the fight. That this is one of the interesting things to actually come from the Talking Sopranos episode. That James Gandolfini and the actress that plays Janice, Totoro, I'm blanking on her first name.
Ada Totoro,
something like that. We're in a real fight earlier in that day. They got into a heated argument on set right before that was filmed, and that ended up capturing, and Bobby was talking because he was there, Steve Sharippa, everyone's favorite podcaster, Steve Sharippa, but he's sitting there, and so he watched it all, and I guess they got into a knockdown drag out fight. Like, she felt like James Gandolfini wasn't looking at her during the scene when she was shooting her half of the scene, because TV scenes are shot in film scenes are usually shot in half. So like she paid attention to him, and then he was like watching TV or just fucking off or something, and she just laid into him and started screaming and freaking out, and they got into this big huge fight, and then they shot her piece. So a lot of the anger you see in that scene from Janice's perspective from how was filmed when they were actually in a real life human fight. And this is a question that was raised in that episode, and a question I have for you, Matt. And I know I'm biased to this, but and for the chat as well, who is worse? And I know worse is such a blanket term. Who is worse, Janice or Livia?
Janice.
Yeah, she's a murderer, right? It's the murderer is where it really comes down to.
It's at the end of the day, the people that I think that Livia really just screwed over her immediate family for the most part. Janice has cast a way wider net. Like, how many people have? Livia's was with Johnny since she was like a kid, probably. Livia's been with everyone. I mean, Janice has been with everybody at this point.
People in the live chat. Ralphie had it coming. People in the live chat going.
No, they did. Richie had it coming. Ralphie had it coming. They all had it coming.
Livia. We got a couple of Livias. I love you. Anyone you favor saying Livia. Vito is the source. Vito Corleone. Oh, Vito is the source. I'm thinking Vito Corleone. Johnny Cakes Allen. I love you. Okay. Ada Totoro. Like the opera and Elton John Broadway show. Angie Bompazero could be a Cersei. I mean, Angie really did work the system in a way that by the end, Carmela can't help but appreciate, like can't, not hating the player, hating the game. Like she's just like, okay, I can't hate on everything that Angie's doing. She made herself one of them. Janice is pretty bad. I mean, do you think if Janice thought they would follow her, she would try to like kill Tony? Do you think she was placing? She did earlier. Like she tried to have with Richie. Richie, yeah. Do you think she would have tried a similar thing with Bobby, thinking she could have even more control over him? Like, and that's why she was trying to position him. And ultimately, before Tony dies at the end or whatever happens at the end, Bobby dies at the end. He's positioned as Tony's number 2. She worked it up so Bobby became the number 2. So theoretically, it could have been her plan in the end to kill Tony and have Bobby take over.
Yeah, but listen, if Tony doesn't have the makings of a varsity athlete, Bobby doesn't have the makings of a, mafia head at all.
No.
Richie did. I mean, Richie was psychotic and crazy.
No, but in that situation...
Richie could have taken it over. Bobby was never going to, take it over.
But in that situation, Matt, in the situation where Bobby's in charge, Janice is in charge.
I agree. I think, in some sense, she gets whatever she wants as long as Tony's in charge once Tony solidified. All right, why don't we start these?
Yeah, we're going to start. I got to give us toast to Kelly Johnson, who gave us our 2 super chat donations. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whether it's water or Sprite or pina colada or coffee, whatever you're drinking, toast your drink to Kelly Johnson for the super chat donations. Thank you so much, Kelly. I love you, Kelly Johnson. Thank you, my friend. Woohoo! Vaca. Okay, Matt. So now is the time, everyone. Get your episodes locked and ready. Where's Johnny? We do know that there's going to be the fucking Duster commercial with Sawyer from Lost popping up there. Pretty good show. I've liked the first few episodes, but I don't care about the damn preview. I don't want to watch previews before I watch episodes, but we're going to click on this. We might have to watch the preview first, but we're going to do the old Lethal Weapon thing. 1, 2, 3, and then press play on go, Matt. 1, 2, 3, go.
No. Are you doing it? Did you?
No,
do
no,
it?
no. I didn't do it. I was practicing for the audience. That was practice.
Okay, good.
It's practice. Let's get a couple comments in the chats. Bobby was playing with his trains. Exactly. Bobby would be playing with his trains while Janice would be running the things like Wendy fucking Bird. It'll be over. Richie was too much of a hothead, Matt. So was for that matter. Let's ask the question. I'm asking you the question while we have the people in the live chat here, Matt, as we already have. We got 10 votes so far. Keep voting if you're in the live chat. Kicking that vote one. And all we need is 10. And right now it's 60.
John Haymaker, no, we don't skip it. We're going to watch
Did Tony have the makings of a varsity mob boss, Matt?
Oh, 100%.
100%. Okay. Well, and we're going to see if that's the case. You know who wouldn't think that? Your favorite guy, the bartender there. What's his name? The Tony keeps beating the shit out of. That when you tell me he's such a nice guy.
Or Georgie.
Or Georgie. Yeah. Georgie's my main evidence every time you tell me Tony's a good guy. Okay, everyone, are you ready, Matt?
I'm ready.
Are you ready, audience? I guess we got Oh, and we also have Gotti in the live chat. Speaking of another co-host from old times on our live show, if you want to watch some of our early shows, the co-host of the Breaking Bad podcast, Gotti in the live chat. We got Alan, our winner of our 2018 music stuff, destroying Big Daddy Matt here. And are you ready, Matt? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go! Where's Johnny? Oh my! It hasn't played yet. Okay, now I'm looking at Sawyer's awful face, and I mean he's not awful. He's
it hasn't started playing yet.
It's playing now, and I'm watching the engine revving Duster. Max original.
You're way behind.
It's okay. It's okay, Matt. It's okay. Now HBO just fuzzled for me.
All right, tell me when the intro starts.
Intro's starting right now. James Gandolfini. Can you hear that stuff in the background? Yeah. Okay. There we go. I'm gonna mute the song just because I deal with these YouTube fucking police, Matt. YouTube police with all this shit. We're close enough. I hope you guys are watching in, but if you're not, it doesn't matter. We'll give you enough context for where Tony Sirico is messing with the wings, where how mad ripe Meadows' body is.
It's so creepy.
Hey, it's a line in the show. You're telling me, is it creepy?
We get a nice Mudvayne reference.
We do get Mudvayne in this episode. We get
not this episode.
The next episode. We get AJ trying to rationalize and make a point that you can't find a cab in New York City. Like how could you?
AJ being AJ is all he is.
Yep.
This might be the shittiest version of AJ right now. I'd rather have like whiny AJ than this one.
It's true.
And for all of you, if you didn't get this from Phil, he's way behind. We'll catch up though.
Yes, I will go. Oh, Matthew Weiner worked on this episode. Interesting. He is the guy who did Mad Men. Mark Houston, you're the man. Thank you for trusting the process and joining us for another Sopranos cast. It's very much appreciated. Now I feel like the volume is bordering on loud, but that's fine. I'd rather be too loud than too soft.
You're also yelling, Phil. I mean, to be fair.
It's true. I can't help but yell, Matt.
All right, so where are you now?
It's just starting.
All right, I'm there. We're at the Bada Bing.
He's with Georgie. He's fucking with Georgie, your favorite guy. And here comes your favorite character of all, Tony B, who's not in a lot of these episodes, but
which I kind of like that. There's very little Tony B in these.
Yeah, you're not a fan of Tony B.
No.
Let's get into that a little bit. Are you not a fan of the character, or are you not a fan of Buscemi being too... I think we've talked about this before. It's that Buscemi's too big of an actor for you. It takes you out of the character.
At the time Buscemi was too big of an actor, I don't think he is convincing as being somehow this closely related to this world. Everyone else acts a certain way, and he doesn't pull off the accent well. He's just not believable.
Yeah, in fairness, he does have Poochie Sopranos vibes, too. Where it's like, oh, here's your uncle cousin Tony, and the way he comes in. Oh yeah, like the kids. Remember when he smuggled the sperm in? It's all like it's a little like retconning everything into situations. That being said, even the way that Tony is saying the exposition here isn't my favorite Sopranos communication. Like, oh, remember that time? Like, remember when is some of the lowest form of exposition. Michael Madsen would have been perfect for Tony B. James Morant, that's a great pick. Michael Madsen would have been an excellent pick for that character. He would have been believable as a cousin for Tony. Probably
but would you believe him as being a masseuse and delivering linen? That's the part I wouldn't believe about.
Fair. So maybe not. Maybe the kid that played Ziggy on in The Wire, but I don't know. Gotti says if anyone could not figure out how to get a cab in New York City, it is AJ. That's very true. Okay, so I think very good point, Gotti. In this scene right here, I think we're starting to set up, and they don't pay it off. It almost seems like something's cut here. What do you think Feech is going to say? Do you mind if I talk to you about the boy king? Like, is he going to just start shit-talking Tony there and be like, Tony's a fucking dink and I should take over? Like, was the long-form storyline initially in this season to have Tony B switch alliances, like go to Feech for protection at the end of everything? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
I don't know, and you're right. They never get into it. It looks like he's going to start talking to him. Instead, they just do this instead.
Right. They just jump into Sal Vitor. And if any, what do they call them, civilians in the history of the show deserve to get their ass kicked, it's Sal Vitro. Like, look at this guy's face. He's just got such a punchable face. Like I just want to.
Sal Vitro, come on, he had to take his son out of college for this.
Yeah, he was asking for it. Like if you're seeing Robert Loga coming up to you like this, like, no, his nephew does the lawn in town. Matt, come on. This is this dude's fault. Gary Lamont has this area, Matt. Yeah, look at him. He's asking for this shit.
Well, and this is the closest that Tony Blundetto's been to something that's like
violent. Yeah,
he wants no part of. It's something that could fuck up his parole at this point. Like if a cop happens to drive by right here, they're both going back to
jail. My God, he grabbed him by the dick. He's grabbing him by the dick and dragging him. Oh. I love how, like, at the end of all of this, it's like he just broke his hand. Like, he got grabbed by the dick and his ass kicked like that. Like, Sal really got screwed, as James says. You don't tell Feech to fuck off. Exactly, Alan. Ash says in the live chat, Steve Buscemi is scrawny, but he has rage in him, which works. Looks for Fargo, Ghost World, Reservoir Dogs. Like, I agree, and that's where, like, I think as an actor he pulls it off, but I can see visually, Matt, maybe something, part of what you're saying, but I think he pulls it off through his performance. I always like Tony B. He's one of my favorite characters. This scene right here, and this whole episode, we didn't talk about this on the intro. It's the one part of the episode we haven't talked about yet, and he steals the episode. This is why, and this might be, as people say, a hot take. Junior, Dominic, he's the best actor on the damn show. Like, he's so good. Like, this episode, it's obviously Falco or Gandolfini. They have the most to work with, but him in this episode and the whole process of developing his dementia and as it's coming up, and is it real, is it not real? In that moment, the believability, the way they ease this in and you think it's comedy at first, like him thinking he's Larry David, which is hilarious. And so Curb Your Enthusiasm is in this world, so is The Sopranos in the Curb Your...
No, you've heard there is that Gilmore Girls thing where they both exist in each other's universes.
Yeah, so does The Sopranos exist in this universe too?
I don't know. They probably do. But the Gilmore Girls and The Sopranos both exist in each other's universes, which is wild.
But this is a fucking great Junior episode. And Junior's story might, and yes, we give spoilers for future episodes, we're sorry. Junior's episodes are limited as we move on from here, but they're always amazing. They end sad, and it's some of the best performancing. I'm going to say that best performancing through the entire series.
To your point about him, the way he works his dementia, him and Christopher, because Christopher handles his addiction the way that he does, which is great. Outside of those two main characters, which we all agree are like, Edie Falco and Gandolfini give the best performances, but those other two, because they're both dealing with like the way Christopher deals with his addiction in so many different ways, off and on over like all the seasons, and obviously Junior and his like to the very end where he's like, yo, you and my dad used to run North Jersey, like ending at that point is amazing.
Absolutely. And if you're watching this, make sure you hit that like button, share this out, and thank you so much for tuning in. But Matt, we have this Bobby and Tony scene, which is Janice is doing, basically asking Bobby to motivate and try to get more work. But Matt, part of the reason why we even do this Sopranos podcast still at this point, because we know this is like the longest running podcast in the history of man.
For a show that's been off the air for 25 years.
Exactly. Yes. But is our good friend Phyllis. Phyllis has kept us alive, kept us going, kept us pushing, just like producer Gotti in the live chat, keeps us being able to watch episodes. But Phyllis has been helping out with motivation. She helps every few months. If Matt and I haven't done this, she'll send me a message, Matt and Phil, where the heck are you? And she sent us this wonderful email. Hi, Phil. It's Phyllis. And Matt, Phil and Matt's #1 fan. I've watched episodes 3 and 4 of season 5 last night, and thank you so much agreeing to read my comment by email. This is going to be the best option. So there's this old guy who just came out of the jail who seems like he holds a lot of grudges in this episode 3. We hear, I'm gonna make a kill this guy who's doing the lawn, and his understanding he wants the relative of him to do work. And then a few minutes in the episode, I think it's Phil's guy that they put tape over. I think it's Lorraine's mouth. Oh, we will get into this in a moment here. I didn't finish my thoughts about the old guy. I don't like him. He's so loud and boisterous. Poor Junior has dementia, and Tony's not realizing it. if he gets upset that Junior is repeating something, then the doctor asks Tony if he's asking the same question every 5 minutes. And Tony feels bad, and he should feel bad for getting impatient. So that's all my comments. Thank you so much for reading my comments. This is the easiest thing. You have permission to tell anybody who I am. I'm Phyllis. I do exist. I've just been having a lot of trouble with the chat. I'm totally blind, and I have a computer program with a speech program, which makes it impossible for me to get in the chat, so I rely on a keyboard. And I wanted to share my thoughts in the live chat and say hi to the chat and say hi to all of you guys. And I hope you get this email before the show. Thank you, Phyllis. And thank you, Phyllis. Thank you, Debbie, oh, Debbie.
Sorry, we're not open.
And thank you for one of the most hilarious scenes in the world. And this is one of those moments that, again, the Talking Sopranos pointed something out to me that was like, that I didn't even like think about. In this moment, like when Phil comes in the scene, great scene by Phil. I thought in my memory, I sort of Mandela affected that he picked up the phone book off like the counter. He walks in the door with the phone book. It's just it's just such a pimp move. Watch as he walks through the door when he comes in. He's holding the phone book in his hand. It's just hilarious. He's like, "Hi, I'm coming in with a phone book."
Oh, he is.
So as Michael Imperioli said in the live chat, did they do ballistic tests at home with this? Did they like practice shooting it through the book to make sure it would work? You know, it's kind of funny. It's just the whole thing, the logistics of it when you stop and think about it. And this is the whole foundation of the New York war that starts, that ultimately ends in the huge destruction through the season. And this is a warning. And in fairness, they did give her a warning. And Carmine Jr. must have been like, still kick up to me, fuck you. And we never really get the next time we see a follow-up on this really is her getting killed. But like we never see her say you know, I'm going to kick up to she never tries to, like kick up to Johnny. At this point, you would have think she'd say fuck Carmine and kick up to Johnny. The scenes show how scary Phil can be. Absolutely. Gotti says, hi, Phyllis. And a bit of turmoil. Hashtag wise guy was better. I killed the Lady Shylock. Yep.
Today's a lucky day.
Next time there won't be a next time. Do you think Phil is the kind of guy that's not going to follow up on a promise like that, Lady Shylock? Not very bright. That's all I'm saying. You know, go home and get your fucking shine box. Exactly, Billy Bats. Thank you, Billy Bats.
I'm trying to sync this up here. Hold on, I got issues. Don't actually hold on. But
you got issues, man. Junior is talking about cable TV in a second.
I got it. Perfect.
Late like a pharaoh, got my own room, cable TV.
I got cable.
My grandson, he asked me, he says, how come he never met his grandpa before?
Mastering my music.
Because grandpa's been special.
So Angela's a character that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, Matt.
Get some ice cream.
Like, dude, you've been out of the game. You want out of the game. Why are you going to Tony in this situation? I know Tony he's sort of a mediator in between Johnny and little Carmine, but still, I just think it's kind of, it's weird that Tony gets involved in this.
Carmine's not around right now, right? He's
down in Florida with the...
Yeah, so I think Angela's the closest person that could, like, request a sit down with Tony.
Fair, but he's retired. He should stay retired. I mean, ultimately, we see what happens to him, but you want out of the game, be out of the game. Or
yeah, I mean, you know whose fault it all is? That animal Blundetto.
Mm-hmm. His brother couldn't even say his last words, Matt.
He's awful.
He had blood in his hands. And if you listen closely, she did piss herself. I thought she pissed herself, James. Poor Lady Shylock.
Your point being what, Junior?
So Junior starts busting the balls with the not your varsity athlete comment right there. So what's funny is when we follow up in the end, he maybe repeats himself, but he does mean it.
Oh, yeah.
He means it once. Maybe Junior in the past would have been smart enough to not say it so much, but do you think he probably would have said it at least once?
But he was a varsity athlete in high school.
But not college. Yeah. But he didn't have he had small hands.
Dude, listen, we saw Junior when he was young, and what was the name of that movie?
I'm not aware of a movie that featured Junior.
He did not seem like he had the makings of a varsity athlete either.
I don't know what movie you're talking about, Matt, but I'll take your word for it. Which, funny enough, that ended up being one of the all-time most memorable lines from The Sopranos. It's on the list there, right? Like,
which line?
The makings of a varsity athlete. It's definitely.
Oh yeah, if you drop that in conversation, it's one of the ones people will remember. You're not dropping some like obscure.
Sopranos line of some sort. Gotti says, remember when Jackie Jr. asked Christopher for a sit-down and Christopher said they could have a chat? What's the difference? I think a chat is just having a quick babble and discussion about your problem, where a sit-down is two people sit down with a mediator of some sort that mediates the situation, comes up with a decision based on that, based on the problem. Whereas a chat is just sort of discussing the particulars of said problem. Would you say that's probably true, Matt?
Yeah, and I think that a sit down is a safe place to show up. You're not going to get jumped for the most part because there is going to be someone there.
Unless it's with Al Capone.
It's on the level and it's a real one. But.
Yeah, unless it's with Al Capone or Michael Corleone or something like that. Phil, have I seen Gomorrah yet? Not yet. It's incredible. I will check it out, Gregor Smith. And thank you for checking out this live stream. Very hurtful, Uncle John. John, he does have the makings of a varsity athlete. Usually a sit-down is done with a big boss that is a decision maker of some sort to help make the decision of the particular problem. Which this is a perfect example. Like, these two are having a chat, and then Paulie goes to Feech for another chat, and then they both go to Tony for a sit-down.
Yes.
Like, this is another chat right here with the king of the breadsticks. This isn't like an official situation. Agreements can happen in chats if both people don't have beef.
Do you think was this thing running the whole time he was in jail?
I don't know, or did he just pick it up? His brother was probably.
It's running. An old friggin' building.
Probably his kids or his wife was running it or something like that. I'm guessing.
No, I don't think he's. They have a couple comments here about not being married. So I think.
So he's like the Paulie. He's like the equivalent of the Paulie of his generation.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about right now.
So maybe but doesn't he have a kid? He does have a kid, so maybe it was his kid.
Who's the kid he has?
The kid's the one that runs the landscaping stuff.
That's his nephew.
Oh, cool. So maybe his nephew or his sister or something like that ran it. So, do you think Paul... I think...
he says nephew right here. It's nephew.
Yeah, it is. But I think Feech has a point here, though. Paulie has no business sticking his beak in here. And they started figuring this out in this Talking Sopranos cast about how much money that Paulie was getting involved in this for. It would be like a couple $100 a week at most, and like $5,000 a year, which for me would be huge. But for someone like Paulie Walnuts, it isn't a lot of money. Yeah, Feech, you're a good guy. I think a chat is unofficial, but a sit-down is binding. And I also think Jackie Jr. didn't know the difference, so Christopher could have just been making up words. He could have just told Christopher he had to go do a hibbity-hoo, and he wouldn't know the difference, Matt. Matt, I had an old man Junior Soprano moment there, Matt, where I just almost called you Tony and then Joe and then probably 3 other co-hosts before I said Matt.
That's fine.
Yeah, if I call you Tony or Joe, I'm sorry.
If you call me Tony, I'm going to assume that it's Tony Soprano, and I'm going to kind of, I'm a Tony apologist, so I'll probably take it as a compliment.
Yeah, absolutely. Does anyone in movie history scream better than that guy? Like Robert Loggia.
Robert Loggia.
He has one of the best screams, and he's like the prototypical cigar in his mouth, I'm the general guy. Like you can't get... His scream is one of the best screams.
What else do you know him from? I know the most famous role, the one I know.
Over the Top, the villain in Over the Top.
No, because I don't know if you remember Over the Top.
Independence Day.
He's definitely in Independence Day. He's he's like the general or something. Independence Day.
Isn't he in? Is he in Scarface or something?
Yes, he's in Scarface.
I think he's in. I mean, he's in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's Robert Loggia.
Isn't he in a movie where he's the bad stepdad? No, that's Over the Top. What movie is his most famous that you're talking about?
I was talking about Independence Day.
Okay, Independence Day. Yeah.
That's what I know him from. Like, that happened during that was a huge movie.
Okay, so Janice what is she actually doing here? Like, she's complaining about.
Oh my God, she's being she's being the most extreme version of Janice ever. She's saying how hard she's working because she doesn't get out of bed all day, and then she has a lot of work to do, which is mainly making these sides, which she didn't actually make any of. She goes and picks them up.
Right, she's going to Artie. Artie's making everything for her, right? She didn't. Yeah. All she does is whip up the pasta, right? Like they'll get this pasta that Janice whipped up.
This is a theme with her,
Oh no, she didn't even whip up the pasta. That's the pasta right there.
Yeah, remember when she brought something over to Bobby and it was really Carmela's thing, and Is it the layers of basil?
Oh, Robert Loggia was also in Big. He was like the.
Oh, he's the when they're dancing.
Yeah,
on the,
dun.
Yes, yeah. That's
Heart and Soul when they're doing Heart and Soul.
100%. Yeah.
So this is when they squash their beef. This is one of the most believable line reads Tony ever has, because this is exactly how two douchebag guys sometimes make up. I was talking to my friend, and he thinks, Matt, I was talking to Joe, and he thinks you and I should, we shouldn't be on the outs anymore.
Now, Phil, we did this back in October, so I just want to make sure the beef here is still about Qu'est-ce que c'est message machine. It's about him owing Tony money. Is that what the beef is that they're squashing here or not?
Was this the Benny situation, or is that yet to come?
No, Benny hasn't happened yet. I believe. Yeah, exactly, Gotti. That's Carmela's lasagna. That's exactly what he says. But I think this was the whole when he borrowed the money to invest in that wine or something with.
The Amiac or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then Tony buys it out, and he goes, "You fucking suicide!" Like he gets pissed off. Like that's that.
Yeah, and because he's saying to Tony, he's like, "You saw this coming the whole way. Like you knew this was going to happen." And Tony was feeling very like. He was feeling
was that
he's being portrayed as a worse person than he actually was.
I believe, I think that was their fight. I believe you could. I think you're right.
We talked about that because I remember saying like "Qu'est-ce que c'est" answering machine like 95 times when he shows up at the guy's house.
I do remember that.
And he gets his earring ripped out. Yeah,
that's a great art. I mean, that's the anti-Benny moment. It's like where he gets his ass kicked and stuff. Like the Armagnac.
Yeah.
With the sweet sausage.
And he's sitting there like, yeah, the sweet sausage. That was all the stuff when he was describing
James. He is in Necessary Roughness, too. He's like the fucking coach in Necessary Roughness. That's awesome. I totally forgot he was. Junior complaining about the food. They just did such a good job at almost like taking every one of the signals of it and just doing like having Junior show that he can't deal with it. He can't deal with waiting anymore. He's having a problem. He's asking the same question every few seconds here. And I love in this moment, again, this moment right here, I always miss this, Matt, when Tony makes a wise-ass comment about Janice making the pasta. Like, it's because she didn't, because she just picked it up from Artie.
Right.
Like, for some stupid reason, I never quite got that joke. It, never clicked with me.
Dude, she's the worst. She really is the worst.
Oh, she is.
Because at least Livia would make fucking ziti if she brought it.
Livia would live on making that ziti. She'd be like, forget about it, sweetie. So, is Junior's right though? He is a White House flower. What's it called? What's it called? What's he call him or something like when he leaves?
A hothouse flower.
Yeah, he's a hothouse flower. That's his problem. But he is. I mean, Tony could not take this personal. You see this later. I think it's a couple of episodes down the road because every time I try to watch these episodes, I keep watching. And when Janice goes to anger management and Tony, like the most horrible thing Tony Soprano almost does in the entire series, when Janice is finally in like an okay place and he just like starts doing the Harpo song and shit.
That's the meanest thing ever.
It's so mean, dude. I mean, all the other stuff between them is very brother and sister, and you believe it. Like later in this episode, and then especially with the under the boardwalk, she'll be gobbling his nuts, or whatever he says. Like that's very brother sister.
He makes the roadies comment later in this one.
Yeah, which is again is very brother sister.
Yeah.
But like in that moment, he's just being cruel, like mean, like evil Tony Soprano. Like he just you will not be happy. I love this moment. This isn't my favorite. I know they keep replacing Barbara. This isn't my favorite Barbara, but
luckily she's never important enough.
No, and they keep changing. I think this might be the one that lasts till the end, but I think there's two Barbaras.
Listen, give them credit though for keeping her being part of this. She doesn't just like if you go watch Seinfeld episodes, they each almost every character mentions having a sibling at some point in the early seasons. And then as it turns out, they never had siblings later on. Like, they just mess with the time. But they never do that here. Like, they keep Barbara part of this all the way through.
Matt, I'm with you. They do an excellent job in this show of actually making it realistic with family members that live a little further away. And
yeah, who is probably intentionally keep themselves out of this life.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Would you want to be around Janice and Tony?
Yeah, certainly not Janice.
Oh, come on. Like Tony's not easy to be around. Fuck Sal. I don't know why I hate Sal Vitro so much, but I want to punch him in his.
I don't know why you do either. He's like
I want to punch him in his face, dude.
He says he always kept my nose clean. He kept himself out of all that. What are you hating on Sal
I don't
Vitro?
know. I don't know. Something about his face is punchable to me. He's just got a very punchable face.
He looks a little bit like oh shit, what's the actor's name?
He looks like, I'm not going to say the name. Just
Paul Giamatti. He kind of looks, there's a little bit of Paul Giamatti.
And he kind of looks like somebody that you and I know, but I'll tell you after the show. And maybe that's partly why. I got nothing against Sal. Good play. Tony plays this all wrong. He doesn't get Johnny's perspective right here. As much as Tony is a varsity mob boss and usually gets a good read on Johnny, he doesn't quite get where Johnny's head is right now, and he makes a mistake here, and then he yells at Christopher later for making a similar mistake, and maybe Christopher should have listened, but I mean, because Tony found out the hard way.
Oh my God, it's the most Christopher thing in the world to do.
It is the most Christopher thing in the world.
Don't say anything.
Alan says he also has a very breakable arm. But you don't tell Christopher not to say something, then he's definitely going to say something. It's like our mutual friend Dutch. Like, you don't tell him not to say something in a situation. You're like, don't say this to that person. He's going to walk right up to that person and go, I got to talk to you for something. You know,
dude, if you tell Dutch that so and so is mad at him or like doesn't like him, the first thing he does is try to go quote unquote fix it.
Right, he'll make direct contact with that person. If you don't say anything, he would likely ignore the person because he'd just be like, whatever. They probably don't want to talk to me. But if you told them that they have a problem with you, stay away from them. Like, he would make a beeline for them and be like, oh, I gotta talk to you. Why do you talk? And then talk to you, manipulate that person for the whole night. That they'd love him by the end of the night, but he'd just be like locked to them the whole evening.
I know, or he'd think they'd love him by the end of the night.
Yes. I want to talk to you privately right now. I'm not gonna say anything more, but yes.
Yeah, no more Dutch shrapnel here.
Exactly.
Alan, don't join up with him in picking on poor.
Exactly, breakable Alan, destroy him. James says Tony probably would have done the same thing. Remember, he said,
hold on, and he's a real man. And he's still out there working afterwards with his broken arm.
Fuck Sal Vitro.
Or his busted wing, as they say.
Frowning is fucking stupid. Well, we got Anthony Robbins.
We got a little Tony Robbins here.
Robbins, yeah. This dude. This fucking dude.
And there's the other dude with the mustache that he had for a while, too. They're all useless. All the old guys.
So those are all
just stuck here.
So that's Junior's crew? Like all the dudes from season 1 that were hanging out in his restaurant are all those guys probably?
Yeah, when Tony had to, if he comes back, he better come heavy, like from back then.
Yeah, like all the guys that weren't killed from his crew are all these dudes. The ones that weren't Mikey and weren't the ones that were younger and a little bit more capable. There was a few other guys. The guy that got killed on the boat. I think there was a handful of Junior's guys that were a little bit more capable, but these are all the older, useless dudes that were dumb enough to follow Junior instead of Johnny back in the day. Fucking Junior. So this is,
dude. I'm surprised he didn't let some racist shit out here because I really thought it was going to happen when I was rewatching.
No. This actually is a kind of ending up being like a much to do about nothing thing. It almost comes off like they just wanted to, because what do we get from this is that Junior did actually remember the right place to go. Like, because we get the other guy that comes down and goes, yeah, the Italian guys did have the pinball machines in here, which is a true thing, as there used to be like Pac-Man machines and pinball machines that you push a button and they turn around and they turn into gambling machines. There's a lot of those on Revere Beach near where Matt and I grew up. And, but anyways. But Junior's wild adventure is an interesting moment because Junior definitely still has moments of sense here, realizing who and what he is. His car isn't stolen. That's his car, right? Right there?
100%. But this is just, you know, when you watch someone go through dementia, and I don't, you know, Jen went through this with her mom, I went through it with my grandmother. They remember the young stuff. You can show them a picture from the 40s, and they'll know, like,
depends.
My grandmother would know who was in, but she didn't. But she'd see pictures of her great grandkids and not know who they are, even though she had met them a bunch. But like, she knew the stuff from the 50s.
Yep. I mean, it depends. Different kinds of dementia, different kinds.
Yeah, 100%. Right, and it would change from day to day. It wasn't always the same thing either.
Gotti says maybe it's a family thing. I think it's because Sal Vitro is such a wuss bag, and he does remind me of Ralphie's little brother from A Christmas Story. Junior has much bigger.
What is with you people? Why the Southeast?
Oh, I know that,
all
Gotti.
the people.
Because look at him. And Junior's sitting here. I mean,
oh my God, this is
Junior's
the most
gone,
Janice
and
thing.
Yeah, Janice sitting watching the home shopping, watching Clean Receipt.
She is the worst.
Especially because of that waste of chocolate milk.
Thank you, John Haymaker.
Especially because of that waste of chocolate milk. That's the biggest sin here, Matt. Sal never did nothing. Poor guy. Poor kid.
What else is that kid in, Phil?
I don't know. Bobby's in something else?
The little kid. Yeah, he's in School of Rock. He's the kid. He's one of the like.
He's the bodyguard. One of the bodyguards.
Yeah. He's one of the security guys in School of Rock.
Fuck, I didn't place that. Good call,
And I
Matt.
think he actually married someone else from School of Rock. I think he married the blonde girl that was one of the backup singers in real life.
Oh, cool. Two things about the School of Rock thing. One, rest in peace to the kid that played the drums. He passed away. But they did
Really?
Yeah, but they did a reunion show. Like you can find it on YouTube or find it on TikTok or Instagram. And
I'm not a huge Jack Black fan, but he is so good in that movie. It's like that to me is it's the one movie I really love.
I want to say like in 2017 or 2018 they did a reunion show where like they all jammed.
All those kids?
Yeah, like all older, like the whole
the keyboard players.
Yeah, the whole band, like the whole band.
Get down here. I want to talk to you.
I'll try to find the link and send it to you at some point if I remember.
What do you want? I'm a friend of Sal Beach.
Yes, and this guy too.
See that guy up in the tree? He doesn't even look like a real landscaper.
No, he looks like Sal Vitro. But I mean, he looks like Feech. He looks like Feech's, like he'd be related to Feech. But
he did punt Baxter, man. It was so mean.
do you know what he looks like? He looks like a rat. Like his teeth look kind of like a ratty. But again, if you were in a situation and someone like Paulie Walnuts walks up to you and starts yelling, like these guys were asking for this. He's a made man. You don't talk to a made man like that.
They don't know that he's a made man.
Their fucking dad, their uncle is fucking Feech. You don't think they could put two and two together and think that
They don't know who that's who Paulie Walnuts is though.
Oh, come on.
He didn't walk up there and say I'm Paulie Walnuts.
Who are you gonna think though? Like he didn't.
I'm Paul Galtieri.
Right, he didn't say I'm a friend of Feech. Like he didn't say whatever. He didn't say the code. And I love how Paulie's such a nickel and dimer that he takes the money out of the Toots wallet.
Oh, and then takes the lawnmower.
It is one of the most.
He's such a scumbag, dude. Let's call it $1,200. He only gives Sal $5.
Yeah, but it is a fucking great badass.
That line there, "Shut up or I'll give you a crack." That's one of my favorite lines in the show. When he's on the ground running his mouth.
Alan, I did not need to know that, but I'm making note of it. Anyways,
Alan, is that true?
I would. If Alan's saying it, I bet he's not lying. That's what I'm saying. The wings are a dead give. Thank you, John Haymaker. See, John Haymaker is right down the middle. Sometimes agreeing with you, sometimes agreeing with me. And right there, it's got the wings. You're telling me guys that are Feech's nephew working for Feech in Feech's family, and that guy comes up, you're not going to immediately think he's a made man, and you shouldn't fuck with him.
Well, especially when he comes up and says, "Come down here, I want to talk to you." That way with the hand,
with in the hair. Like I'm saying, this dude's a stunad. If he doesn't know that fucking Paulie,
and he's driving that Cadillac, like the Paulie Cadillac across the street. Yeah.
And Alan says 100% true. Yeah, Alan has no liar in him, so he's a truth teller, except for when he plays poker. Then he's always lying. I love that line. He's like, Tony, he's dead. No, he's missing.
No, and this just sucks for Bobby because he literally just went in there asking him for. We talked through the whole thing, but for people who may have not seen this in a while, when Bobby had gone in to talk to Tony, he was asking him for more responsibility, saying, "I need to earn more," mainly because he has to feed Janice's useless self.
She is kind of
No, she's the worst. She doesn't even want to go over there and help him. Like
no. All she wants to do is throw away chocolate milk. And she takes an hour to get there, and I know she picks up the daughter, but it's.
I told you almost an hour ago. Where the hell have you been?
See?
Yep.
Hello, I was picking up your daughter.
Oh, now I totally recognize that kid from School Rock.
Yeah. Once you know it, you can't unsee it.
Yeah. It's like it was probably around the same time. He was on both, did both at the same time.
It's because of him, Junior escaped, Jack.
Yeah. Like she just does not care. But then when it becomes a weapon she can use against Tony later, once they find out about it, she acts like in the scene later she cares.
And
like
look
she's
at
been
her.
caring the
If
whole
anyone
time.
cares, I'll be upstairs laying down. Like doesn't want to deal with the kids either.
She's got carpal tunnel. Matt.
She's the worst.
She's got carpal tunnel, Matt.
the worst.
Cut out the Snapple. Oh, come on. Leave. Have you looked at yourself in the mirror, you giant
Seriously.
calzone? Come on.
You go consider. Oh, here we go. This is not. No, this isn't the Christopher scene yet.
No, this is the Christopher scene. This is Christopher being a dumb. This is the.
Oh, yeah.
This is the moment Tony knows he has to pick a new number 2. Like this is as much as there's other things, the addiction, all of it. This point, we see it later in the next episode with the way he talks to Syl about how he handles Feech. Christopher agrees. I don't give a fuck what Christopher agrees. I'm not
Yeah, I'm glad he approves.
At this point, he's still.
But having said that, it's weird because he still trusts him enough to send him over to Feech's house to do that whole setup.
Right.
Like,
but he still trusts him. But like, I think at this point, he really sort of abandons Christopher as his number 1 guy and potential replacement.
I think what he trusts him still is to be loyal. Like he knows he can tell him to go do that to Feech, and that Christopher will never tell anyone that he told him to go.
But Christopher would be a horrible boss.
Oh, the worst.
The worst. Worse than Paulie. Worse than Vito. Worse than like Vito.
Paulie would be awful.
Vito would be.
Paulie's not bright enough. And Paulie's way too much about, like, he's way too impulsive.
Vito would be a good boss. Vito would be a good boss. Patsy would be a good boss.
And people aren't scared enough of Patsy.
But if he had the power, maybe they would. I think he's smart enough. I do think he's smart enough to be a boss. Maybe people could think I'm crazy, but I think we've seen that Patsy, because of the way he's bit his tongue after what happened to his brother, and kind of played a long game with it, and then eventually sort of. And to get his son marrying Meadow, it's I don't know. I think it's very. But to your point, Matt, I don't think people could trust. Bobby could not have been a boss.
No, God, no.
Apparently there's a new president.
Dude, no one who marries Jenna Soprano could be a boss.
We already see that Syl can't be a boss. Maybe he could make the decisions, but it would kill him in 5 fucking minutes. He would die in the toilet, squeezing out a poop like what's his name?
Gigi.
Like Gigi on the pissadoo. He'd be dead on the pissadoo within a week.
She was first cousin.
So did they just
this is just a funny little side note.
Yeah, did they just put that in there for Soprano Reddit? Like at the time, like where people were analyzing that, like are Tony and Christopher really related?
Yeah.
And so they just put this in because people were debating it too much or something like that. Patsy did piss in Tony's pool. Loose fucking cannon. Meadow would make the best boss.
Lose bladder.
Meadow would make the best boss once she graduates from law school. Meadow would make a great boss. Personality-wise, she's like Tony, and I think she would be even colder.
And she's smarter.
She's way smarter than Tony. Yeah.
How much longer am I going to have to keep doing this?
Speaking of who's not smart, everyone's favorite, Adriana La Cerva, who is about to have a deadly run of idiocracy going on here. First of all, at this point right now, Matt, if she turns and gets a lawyer and talks to Christopher about this, is she dead already?
If she gets a lawyer?
Yeah. If she puts a brick wall up in the FBI right now, does she still have time to save her life?
Hello, handsome.
Or is it way past that point already for Adriana?
Where you living now? Round here?
You know me?
I think she goes to jail for whatever they busted her for originally. Was it coke? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think it was just like a couple of years coke. Yeah, and
Dude, this is such a wild scene.
it's an amazing scene. Bodega Buds, just seeing your name, I gotta light something up, my friend. Thank you, Bodega Buds. I love The Sopranos, love the reviews. Thank you, my friend. We know we don't do these too often, and YouTube doesn't like to notify people, so we appreciate you guys jumping on here at any point in time.
Oh, your boy just showed up too.
Who's Tony Pajamas? The best name in all of YouTube. Tony Pajamas is in the live chat. It just makes you feel warm and good. Tony Pajamas. I want to name a character. Alan, can we name our band Tony Pajamas? I love it. I'm kidding, but not really. Tony Pajamas is just the most beautiful, wonderful, happy name. And yes, Matt, that is one of the weirdest scenes in all of Soprano history because they're both batshit crazy. It reminds me of a Golden Girls episode that Sophia and this dude that has dementia or Alzheimer's are talking on the pier through the whole episode, and they're both like, stroke victim, dementia person, having like weird fucked up situations. Oh, Bodega Buds. I very much appreciate that. Let me email me at the issues. Email me at
that discussion should be taken offline. Right.
Email me at theissuesguy@gmail.com, and I'll thank you privately and say no, you don't have to do that. But I would obviously love and very much appreciate that. And we will be talking about that a little bit later when we talk about some gravity bongs, dude. And if no one's ever seen a gravity bong, the last time Matt was at my house, there was a gravity bong in play. Not that Matt was using such a thing.
No.
No.
But when we were younger and there was one in your basement, I certainly did.
Yes. But at the poker game, there was one out, and there was members of our poker posse that were using such a thing. I wasn't. I can't fucking deal with that shit. We got KP in the live chat. It's time to party now. The party's on. KP's in the house. Everybody, welcome the beautiful, the amazing. Hey, I called you beautiful, KP, because you are beautiful. KP. You know, I gotta play something for KP. KP's in the room.
I forgot your shoes. Where do you live? Belleville. You don't tell me your name. You're not in trouble. Corrado Soprano.
I love the way these guys look at each other like, wait.
Yeah, right. You're not Corrado Soprano.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Exactly. You're not Corrado Soprano. Fuck you, motherfucker.
One of my favorite lines is when they drop him off and he tells him, go shit in your hat. It's so funny.
That and the line that they turned into a catchphrase on in that movie that you want to talk about, this sister.
Dude, it was one of the first bonding moments that your cousin Alan, or Alan in the chat, I don't know if I should say he's your cousin, and my wife had, was that they both loved that line. They both, like, that was one of the first times they met each other. They both said that was one of their favorite lines.
KP, what's this for you, buddy? I had to add some reverb, but that's not. Let's do it.
I stole it.
Who stole it?
You.
Go shit in your hat. That was a great line, Matt. Thank you, KP, for popping in the live chat. Appreciate it.
So it's weird he doesn't get in trouble for this because it is breaking his.
Yeah, but it is a. He eventually
the cops obviously know he was just
insane.
Demented.
Yeah, demented. And he goes to the hospital right after this and gets a doctor's report. So we know that Mel Voyne is a good lawyer, even though he has a stupid name. That he would absolutely, a very believable stupid name. He would use that as an opportunity to get him off pause. No pun intended. Thank you, KP. But yeah, that's I get a steel pan setting for you there. I don't have a key right here, but I wanted to bring you some of your. Now we end the episode here. Or I think this is about. No, this isn't the end of the episode.
No, there's 12 minutes left.
But this is. Do you know why I said that, Matt? Because this is like one of the best episodes in the entire series. I mean, best scenes in the entire series. As much as Janice is horrible and Tony's horrible too. When they get together and they combat, they work so well together off of each other, and they're so believable as brother and sister. And Artie. And
Artie's so believable though as like a family friend. Where,
as a douche,
comfortable and all right, and he's like comfortable with them.
Yep. Yeah, and the way he gets hit in this scene too. I think I've been in this moment with family members fighting and got hit like that when you try to break up a brother and sister.
You know what's really funny? Tony's drinking the Lowenbrau right there, which is the cheap ass like $1.99 6-pack special that Paulie bought for him in the last episodes when he was trying to like impress him.
Dude, he is. This is something that they were pointing out in the episode. He is like pinching. He's living somewhere rent free right now. He's complaining to Carmela about every dollar, and he's probably just he's a fucking like a whining little asshole. I love. Artie's so funny in this scene. Like. Artie and Bobby almost make this scene their reaction to this because this is so normal for Janice.
Roadies?
Blowing roadies?
Who you all of a sudden relate to so fucking well.
I was merely
And that's what this is all about.
Remember without a cause. Well, I see you're mired in a bullshit, trying to be a good son.
Do you know what's fucked up here in this scene with the two of them, Matt? Is they're both fucking right. Yeah, you don't want to know. You don't want to know.
You tell him that that's not true.
Oh, it's true.
Fucking Jenna, she's so fucking depressed. Poor fucking Jenna, she can't get up off the couch because she's so fucking tired from her Epstein bar. Poor fucking Jenna. Fuck.
Why don't we just calm down?
Well, maybe you would have spoken.
Maybe we should calm down, Bobby. Listen, you want to step in the fucking middle of that? You got to calm that down before it gets to this point. Oh, fuck.
Just like your mother, huh? You can do to him what she did to Dirk.
And you know what's fucked up? The two of them just this isn't really much to them. You know what I mean? It's a big fight. It's huge.
No, it's just normal.
like they would have a drink right after this out and just take some shot. You know, like they'd be like, did you see it? It's like what happens in Sopranos home movies. And then later after Bobby's dead, like the two of them just have a talk and they're like, you see how pissed Bobby was when we were fighting, and they're laughing about it. Like to them, that's just their relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, roadies, as Johnny makes it. Roadies?
And the other one knocks out of the tree.
No, James, he never did. James says in the live chat, Tony never let go of the fact that she left him with Livia. 100%. I don't think Tony ever gave up on the fact, I forget the exact moment, but it's talked about a few times, where Janice rats him out to the parents or something like that. Like she catches him doing something and she rats him out. And it gets referred in the next episode when he says about Meadow, oh, she just stuck up for her brother. That's what sisters should do. Like, I believe there was something that, Janice...
Oh, that happens in one of these two episodes, yeah. She goes, that's what sisters do, yeah.
And there was a story that he tells Melfi at one point about Janice ratting him and Barbara out for doing something to the parents. And it was at that point that he sort of started to distrust Janice. And it was like, she was my big sister. She was the coolest thing. And she fucked with me. I forget what episode's that in or if it might later to come.
I don't remember it, so... I'm not saying it didn't happen, but...
I remember... I don't know if it's a Melfi scene or if it's a Carmela scene, but I think it's a Melfi scene.
I love Paulie just volunteering. Yeah, of course, Feech will do your lawn, too.
Yeah, Paulie knows how to... This is what's evident in that scene, Matt, is that Paulie knows how to play
Look at
Tony.
this hard-working guy.
Oh, look at this asshole.
Arm and everything.
Hit him. Look at him complain, his whiny fucking ass. When Paulie tells him that he got half the work. He's just like...
I love Paul. Like, dude, no one connects with Paul. He's like, that's my middle name, Paul. And he gives him the same look that the fucking Commendadore guy gave him. Just like, no one gives a shit, Paulie.
That's like me when I talk to clerks at the counter. I'm like trying to have...
Dude, I do too. I always do too, and they never want it. I suck.
Yeah, I'm awful. I'm the same way,
I'm the
Matt.
worst.
I'm the worst too. I'm always
the fucking worst.
I talk to people in supermarkets when
I know.
I'm like,
dude,
hey,
I'm the worst.
hey, that's the last one. I like that brand too. You know,
Yeah.
like people want to fucking talk to me. Fuck that shit. You know, like no one wants to talk to me. I'm fucking Polly Walnuts too. We're all Polly Walnuts.
We're all Paulie Walnuts.
Yeah, and Paul exactly, James. And Polly took half the money.
I know. Paulie's...
He took more than half the money. He didn't even give him 600. So Brian shows up again, which interesting that...
No, is that Brian or is that Gene?
That's Brian, right? Oh, no, it is Gene. It is Gene. It is Gene. You're right, Matt.
When I first saw it, I thought it was Brian too, especially in the context where they were golfing.
That's so weird that him and Gene are hanging out.
I know, because it looked like Paulie. I thought it was, when I watched this 2 days ago, I thought it was cousin Brian too, but it says Eugene. I have the closed
No, it
captions on.
is
It says
Eugene. So did they do this one scene showing Eugene and Tony hanging out to make later when he asks Tony to leave the mafia when he inherits the money more believable? Like, we used to be friends. We play sports together. We play.
Maybe. It's weird though, because like...
We've never seen him hang out with Eugene before.
No, and he gets made at the same time as Christopher does, which doesn't make sense age-wise. Like, I don't know how old Gene is.
Yeah, he was just more of a knock-around guy for long, kind of like a previous generation Benny. You know, he was around for a little long collecting, but like eventually just got made.
Didn't have the family connections that Christopher does.
But was a loyal soldier for
get him fast-tracked. Yeah.
But was a loyal soldier for so long, they finally gave him his button. But like, he mentions in that episode when he asks Tony later about getting out that we've been friends since CYO basketball and we've been blah blah blah. So maybe that was the credibility for that scene later, because we've literally never seen them talk before. So it makes sense. It makes sense that they might try.
Well, here's the other thing though. Who else would he be golfing with? Like, he wouldn't be golfing with Christopher. He wouldn't be golfing with Paulie.
Syl?
He could be golfing with Syl.
Johnny Sack, we've seen him golf before with. We've seen him golf with. He wouldn't, not Christopher, not Bobby, not Paulie.
I think he did golf with Ralphie once or twice.
He did golf with Ralphie. Ralphie joined him and Johnny Sack.
Vito wouldn't be out there with him.
Matt, this is one of the best scenes in all of The Sopranos. This scene that we're about to have right here. The look and the emotion that Junior puts. And I want to ask you, what does Junior feel in this moment? When he gets this look and Tony looks at him and asks him, do you love me? And he gets this emotional moment. Is he thinking that I can't feel right now? I'm losing my mind. Does he think I love you and I can't express it? Is he thinking fuck you, Tony? Like, what do you think? And the beauty of it,
does he know if he does? Because who knows what he knows at this point?
Yeah,
because he's completely distracted from everything and just focused on the.
Eugene is 45 here. Chris was made really young. He really was. Fair point. He was made young because of the family connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole scene is amazing. The way Junior plays it, he knows he's losing his mind, but he's like giving attitude, trying to stay tough.
Yeah.
And the Kennedy,
but like right there, the Who Kennedy, we all know Kennedy's his cancer doctor,
right? And it's like, do we know that? Does he know he is? He fucking with him in that moment too? Because he says the line in a second, which is a beautiful line. There's some stuff I'd love to forget. And Tony's response, you can say that again. I forget what Tony says, but it's like it's real. You feel it. It's like a weighty line. Right here.
Believe me, there's plenty I'd like to forget.
Yeah, you and me both.
Lines like that are why The Sopranos is sitting at the table for one of the greatest shows of all time. Like lines like when they turn.
I'm sorry, you said sitting at the head of the table, right? That's what I heard.
Whatever. That's a different discussion, Matt. But
we're never gonna have it because we're never gonna finish this.
We're finishing it. We're finishing it. It's finished. It's finished. We got 16 more after this, Matt.
Despite any arrangements.
We could do it in 14, but we're doing it in 16. Actually, 15. We could do it in 15, but we're doing it in 16. So, what do you think he means even there? Like, I'm still the boss in the family. Like, he still needs respect, even though he might not really be the arrangement, or even though I'm not controlling things, you still need to give me some sort of respect, and you don't always do that.
Yeah, I mean, they called him the head of the family.
Yeah.
He just knows he can't do the day-to-day stuff.
So this is an interesting question, though. The Varsi stuff, all that stuff. And Junior's like, yeah, I said that. I know that. But why can't you say something nice?
James Morant said earlier on that Tony was acting like a child when they were at the table. But I will say this. Having him say that in front of, like, he goes, used to say it in front of the girl cousins who were younger. Like, that is some humiliating.
It is. And then being reminded of it over and over again. And
and when it's one of those things that sticks with you. And, like, I've had it said to, we've all had stuff said like that to us. And unfortunately, we've all said stuff like that to people. That's also.
And I do want to mention something that's personal here. And I mean it, I don't want to dwell down on something sad, but what's interesting is what Tony says there about, can it be something nice? And Junior never gets nice. But like my mother had a stroke and developed vascular dementia. And when she started to get really bad and like lose her mind, she was like a tough girl, like a tough bitch, like bitch energy. And I mean that in a good way, like really like. And then when she had her stroke and had her dementia, she became really nice. And even the staff that you talk to would be like, oh, she says things like sweet things, like she would never say love, she like love you, like she would repeat the word love over and over again. Love, 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 shoes. She also said shoes for some reason. Love and shoes. And like with Junior, he can't help but be a dick over and over again. Like his instinct, and that's usually what you're internally as a person. And Junior internally is a piece of shit. Right. If I feel like I'm acting like a piece of shit now or being negative, I can realize it and change it. But like if you're not realizing it. So by the way, mine just went into the next one. Yeah, I'm into the next episode. The intro's playing right now. I'm watching the intro now too. Okay, perfect. Yeah. We are doing 2 of these, so if any of you guys want to bounce, I don't, Yeah, no, and anyone that actually is joining us, we know these are not the big huge turnouts, but we appreciate anyone that's sitting in there watching these episodes with us. We're watching the second episode now. This is the Feech La Manna episode, which is it's called All Happy Families, and it's also the return of the amazing Carmela Soprano and her beautiful bottom.
And we had no Meadow in that episode either.
No Meadow, no.
But to your point, there are probably other episodes with no Meadow.
There's no Meadow. Who else? There was also no.
AJ was there at the dinner.
Yeah,
and was Meadow at the dinner?
No, Meadow was not at the dinner. It was only episode. No Melfi either.
No Melfi, right?
No Melfi, no Carmela, no Meadow. Which is, thank you, Gotti, for checking on in. It's amazing. Yeah, we're on the theme song, too. We're right here in the theme song. Pizza Land just passed by. Gotti, thank you for checking in. I know you were feeling a little bit. So everyone in the live chat, make sure you give Gotti a virtual hug or toast to your drink to Sir Gotti in the live chat, co-host of the Breaking Bad podcast, original Breaking Bad podcast on this channel, and producer of the show because I'm watching HBO because of Gotti. So thank you, Gotti. So by definition, Gotti is a producer of the show because where he's literally the reason I'm watching the episode right now. So Lorraine Bracco, good or bad actor, Matt?
Oh, Alan. So we both know Phil's obsessed with her. I
love that voice.
I don't think she's the best actor. But that's just
Matt. You're breaking hearts. You're doing Joe Dirty Lock stuff tonight. What are you next? You're gonna say that?
I just don't think
Sean Connery sucks, like Joe was trying to talk about the other night. Do you know Joe hates the Muppets too? No, I'm sorry.
It's weird because he used to have this Beaker shirt he used to wear all the time. Remember that when Joe was like at his fattest, he would wear that Beaker shirt everywhere.
Yeah, maybe that's why he hates it because it reminds him of when he was fat. So this is a very
and listen. I've always been fat. I'm like Tony telling someone to consider salads. Like I'm in
and Joe looks great now. Okay, so he I sprayed him with the cold water. I used to always hate that. And in this episode, they're drinking Heineken, and this episode is brought to you by Heineken for all your drinking in Adidas shoes.
Yeah, they stepped it up from that Lowenbrow.
So they do have Tony B in both episodes, but only briefly in both episodes. We got Studio B, Uncle D. I don't think anyone could be better. I think Lorraine Bracco was perfect in that role. I know they originally eyed her for Carmela. I think she's perfect in the roles of which she plays.
I think Carmela would have been a better Carmela than.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. I'm glad that she chose to not go in that direction. It was her idea not to go. For
I can't believe I never heard this before, and people have probably heard this. I didn't realize that originally. Because I'm going to give a name that I think would have been great in this, partially because I'm in love with her.
Ray Liotta.
Marissa Tomei was going to be what I was going to say for who would have been good. But she was originally the person that he wrote Uma Thurman's part for in Pulp Fiction. I didn't know that. That was his first choice.
Yeah, you saw the casting list recently.
I saw. Yeah. You must have just seen it too. Like it showed up on social media, and I was. Yeah.
I almost want to do a podcast just about that casting list because it's so interesting. Some of the people that originally got.
It is. Marissa Tomei would have been amazing in that Uma Thurman role. It would have been very different. But
I would agree. Any Dexter fans? Uma Thurman is popping up in the next season of Dexter. One Trick Pony Bracco, says Alan. She's right for the role. We got.
I miss you, Alan. I love you. Yes.
Food to dance in the live chat. Well, you had said something earlier. I want to say, Chris was made really young. Oh, shut up, Carmela. But you gotta miss Carmela's.
I was gonna say, this is what you missed.
I did.
This is what you missed.
I miss her. I miss this, Matt. She's so.
You're just busting Tony's balls nonstop.
It is. It's so believable. Extracurricular activities, Matt. It's funny because
Alan, he wrote it saying that with her in mind. I don't know if she turned it. I don't know if she was busy doing something else. I don't know how close it was. There were other people he wrote the role specifically for, but he said that was his first choice. I'll share it with you. Phil or I will find it on social media.
Yeah, and I'll share it. Next time you come by, we'll look it up or something.
It's very, very cool. There's a long list for.
Maybe you and I will do a live stream talking about it. It's actually really kind of cool. How amazing was Edu Falco? She was incredible, Uncle D. Studio 11 Live. Make sure you check out Studio 11 Live. But Uncle D, she was so incredible that when she left, the show lost a lot of its emotional weight with her and Timmy's story. And obviously, in our time that we didn't see because we're not following the Lapazzi
Why did they make Lorraine naked there? Like, why? It's so unnecessary. Like, it's so.
Yeah, and but we never see a follow up. We never see a discussion other than the sit down situation where she says she's not going to kick up to little Carmine, and she's just dead right here. And little Carmine's up here. It's weird. And then we have fucking what's his name, the singer here, Bobby Darin. Is that Bobby Darin? Is that who that is?
No, it's not Bobby Darin. It's it's the guy who's Bobby Darin's been dead for years. It's
who is it? It is a singer though, right? It's a
yeah. In fact, in the Columbus Day episode, he's the person that they tell. He's the one that Jesus Christ. He's the guy in Jersey Boys. What the hell's his name?
Not Frankie. It's not Frankie Avalon.
No,
Frankie Valli.
Frankie Valli. Yeah.
Frankie Valli. If Frankie Valli, who referenced in earlier episodes, appears the first time as New York mobster Rusty Milio.
Yeah, but Phil, I don't know if you've seen the videos of Frankie Valli performing now. He still performs.
I have.
And it's awful. It's absolutely awful.
It's worse than Axl Rose. It is. It's worse than Axl Rose. So
if you haven't seen it, don't go see it.
So this is Feech's big episode where Tony starts noticing that he's not laughing at his jokes, and little Paulie's another one that's just not made, right? He's just a soldier guy hanging out, right?
Right, which is why Gene was allowed to kick his ass.
And break the bottle over his head and shit like that.
Yeah.
And Christopher was okay throwing him out the window, essentially.
Yes, right. They could have never done that otherwise.
Come on, what was that?
So Tony maneuvers through the situation very interestingly. He does give Feech a lot of chances. You know what I mean? He gives Feech chances that,
he's a total dick to her, and to Adriana in her club.
And Tony, and this sets up their stuff, which is the next episode after this one where they almost hook up. With Feech, he gives him the poker game back in the situation, gives him an interesting situation, all that sort of stuff. I totally have the camera off of me right now, man. I'm not just digging in.
So you're on that screen. I don't even look at us.
Good. I'm glad you're not looking at me because I was I'm doing something right now. So he gives Feech so many chances.
It's important these young guys know the history.
It isn't till he. What's the final straw? The final straw is seeing him not laugh. Did I learn nothing from Richie Aprio?
No, I mean the final straw is the whole taking down the. Stealing the cars is what the.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. The doctor's bar mitzvah thing.
It's hard because they loved him. When he was a kid, this was
which is why he doesn't get killed.
Although the weird thing is supposedly Feech was made in the old country, which makes no sense because he doesn't zero Italian accent, which he would still have. But whatever.
Alan says the actress who plays Lorraine just likes to kick down in movies. I don't know why I said knit. James says, just like Richie Aprio, Feech was old school, didn't respect the new generation. And he at least
I'm old school, Janice.
He at least explains it in a way that Richie doesn't. He says, I just still look at you as a kid. And you get that kind of. You get that.
Richie was a psychopath in a different way than Feech is.
Absolutely. Feech is someone.
Feech is kind of like Paulie almost, where it's but Richie was I
think Feech is more dangerous than Paulie because Feech is more likable. He could have not legitimately, but in a perfect scenario, he could have built an organization of captains around him against Tony and take over at some point. And that's what Tony's calculating. He's calculating that Feech, there's a small percentage, Feech has the charisma enough. You remember when Richie can't sell it? Feech could sell it. If Feech went into action mode like we seem to be doing with Blondetto and tried to soil all the captains against Tony, he has the charisma and the respect of the people to do it to almost everybody minus Tony's tight-knit circle of Silvio and Christopher.
The way he pulls off that.
But does it ever good enough praise, money?
When you talk about the knockaround guys, they're just holding up trucks and stuff, and they kind of see it's an amateurish thing. When they take down all the cars at the wedding, they say this is a professional.
It's a well organized situation. Feech is. I think seemingly to me it was they were setting Feech up to be a legitimate adversary for Tony. Yeah, moving forward and
right. I mean they've had one at almost every point. whether it was Richie, and then it was kind of
Ralphie.
well, his crazy girlfriend in season 3 too. Well, that's also because Livia died, and he had Livia.
Here he is, all-time greatest linebacker of all time. All-time. That's redundant. The greatest defensive player, possibly of all time in football. Would you agree with that statement? Like in the again, sitting at the table for greatest defensive athlete in the history of football.
He's still the last defensive player to win an MVP, I think. Yeah, he is, and that was 40-something years ago.
It is. I know people don't necessarily want to talk about sports. I'm not going to go too far down that road, but it is. I cannot overstate how amazing of a football player Lawrence Taylor was, and it was fueled by mostly cocaine. But also,
I was going to say, it wasn't like he was some stand-up guy though. He was like a crazy cokehead at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a lot of cocaine, but it was also a lot of talent, Matt. There's a lot of talent behind that cocaine.
This is such an awkward scene between
Him and Feech, and not
Tony and
everyone can
Feech,
do
yeah.
that much cocaine and be that successful in sports. That's all I'm saying.
Well, on offense, it wouldn't have worked because he would have had to memorize plays. They would just let him out there and just go get him, go sick him, boy, and just do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's like sniffing off Belichick's girlfriend's nipple or whatever. Imagine Richie, Feech, Ralphie, and Feech all working together to take Tony down. That would have been a crazy sort of
they
Legion of
can't.
Doom.
They're way too Ralphie and Richie are way too. They have way too many issues.
Who are you asking if it was on Lost?
That line right there. Jesus Christ, how many times does this guy have to say hello?
Yeah, dude, that alone will get you killed by most people would Tony would kill you. And Allen, absolutely. And just broke someone's leg live on Monday Night Football that the world heard crack. It's the poor Joe Theismann. Silvio is one asshole of a gambler. Who beats... Oh, LT won that hand? Someone other than the Soprano crew guy won that hand?
Yeah.
What's so interesting about the money that Tony's playing with and all... So the money that Tony's playing with and all the money that most of those guys are playing with, that's not their own money, right? They're in there basically working up the game to get to play long enough to take everyone else's money, right? And everyone's the house and then they all split it evenly? Or is this a legit poker game where Silvio's risking his own money?
Well, it gets weird because he calls Tony. Tony B plays in the next one, the one with
Frank Sinatra.
No,
Dave Lee Roth.
Yeah. And he says it's a little rich for you, isn't it, to his cousin?
Right. So, but then are they getting a kickback on the game too? Like someone like Silvio, who's number 2 essentially, does he get a percentage of this game as well as the game he's playing in?
He probably, I don't know, obviously.
Right, and we're speculating.
He probably gets a percentage, not of the game. If he loses, he loses.
Of the take, though, right?
Right. He's probably gambling with his own money.
But he'll break even because he'll make enough off the take.
Yeah, but not everyone's part of the take. Like,
is Christopher? No, we never see Christopher playing in the game. Is Paulie when he's playing in the game? Is Tony obviously is. He's part of the take.
Maybe.
Probably just Tony and Sil.
It also may depend on who puts the money up, because maybe Paulie. I don't know who gives the money out. Someone has to guarantee the money. Maybe
And how much is that as Feech? Is Feech the one guaranteeing the money in that situation? It's just interesting. As we're poker players, it raises a lot of questions for me. I'm like, how does this work from the mafia standpoint of why would you want to play in this game if someone like Silvio is can gamble with free money essentially because he's making money on the take? So why would I want to even sit down in the game? I know it's a high roller game, but I wouldn't even want to sit down.
Yeah, but if you're a better poker player than Phil.
I am a better poker player than Sil. I'll beat Sil.
That's what I'm saying.
I'll beat Sil every time.
Yeah, I would too. And that's why I
you totally would. You totally would. We're both way better than Sil. Way better than any Soprano guy we've seen so far. They don't make it seem like any of those guys are good poker players. This is such an interesting scene right here.
Yeah, the point that James brought up is 100% correct. I think
about
the fact that Silvio gets so upset when he's losing means it is his money that he's losing.
Yeah.
If it was just house money, he wouldn't give a shit. But he's a sick fuck.
Yeah, and Tony does get Alan. He does Tony gets 20% of the rake. And people who don't know, the rake is, and people that do know, sorry for the over-explaining, the rake is in a poker situation, like in a casino, how a casino makes money on a poker game, because it's the players versus the players is on big pots, or sometimes in every pot, they take a percentage of the pot out. Sometimes it's a calculated percentage. Sometimes the dealer just eyeballs it, and they take a couple dollars out of each pot, or big pots, to pay the house.
Yeah, Studio 11, I agree. The question then becomes, though, who makes the money on the money they lend to people? Like when T1000 loses all of his money.
Yes.
That's separate from the rake that they take.
Right, because that was, and then didn't Richie end up, no, because Richie owned and other debt against him. So then Tony was like, he owes that money to me for the house, for the poker, and it takes precedence over the $50,000 he owes you. But then they both worked the bust out. So it's weird. It's convoluted. So maybe Tony's the only one that benefits from the rake? Because he's the boss.
The rake is who runs the game, and then it goes to pay for the room. It goes to pay for whatever they have in there.
So what do you call it? Feech gets 80% of the rake. Tony gets 20. And whether Tony wants to kick down...
Yeah, but Feech has to pay, and he has to rent the room from him and do all other stuff. It all kind of has to go through him.
Right, but as for technically speaking, Tony may privately, similar to when he gives Hesh some money later on, like I'm not, like rules against him, takes money and then gives it back to him. Maybe Tony kicks Syl some money or something like that, or some of his guys get to play free roll a little bit. But for the most part on the books, Tony's the only one making money on the rake, besides Feech, probably. Is what I'm going to guess.
I think it's Junior's game technically, so Junior gets some part of it, but yes.
Yes. Junior gets part of Tony's 80%, like 30, I think it is. I think we hear them talk about that at some point.
And then you got to pay for the food in there, and they used to have the guy that ends up getting shot by Jackie Jr. The guy that ends up getting shot by Jackie Jr., who they call what the hell do they call him? Princess? No, what the hell? He has a nickname.
Princess Farth.
You know the guy I'm talking about, the guy with the glasses that used to deal for them.
Yeah.
He was just their dealer, I think. I think he was a hired dealer that dealt for them.
Do you know what's amazing right now, Matt? We've not intentionally, but totally on purpose, completely ignored all the AJ scenes. And it's fine. We're ignoring the AJ scenes, yada, yada, yada. The teacher wants to fuck Carmela, is making it pretty obvious, and Tony's blinded by thinking the guy is gay for some fucking reason. And doesn't notice it. Number two, AJ thinks he might be learning disabled and makes a big point of it, runs out of the room. Then they find out some kids died in a car accident, and Carmela's complaining about AJ being lazy. And Tony buys him an expensive car to bribe him some more and use as a carrot in a stick situation, and it doesn't work, and it just makes him hate Carmela even more. Done with AJ for now. So back to this game. It's far more interesting.
No, thank you, James. That's right. He was just the deal, and it was Sunshine, not Princess. I'm an idiot when I said
Sunshine.
I knew Princess wasn't right, but I'm in the wheelhouse somewhere. Like,
dude, I'm thinking like BoJack Horseman, Princess Carolyn. Did you ever end up watching BoJack?
No, I watched one episode. Yeah, you and my brother both. We're not getting into that.
Yeah, your brother's right about this one. You're missing out, Matt. But because you can't just watch that one episode. You need to watch. I know. You need to watch like.
It's like if someone watched the first episode of The Sopranos, it's awful. The first episode's terrible.
But still, you get the gist of it. With BoJack, they lure you in with ridiculous comedy, and then they just fuck you in the ear with emotionality later on when you least expect it. But it's not for everybody. Not every show's for everybody. But your brother is right. It's one of the best shows of all time. So, AJ is this is the height of AJ's turd asshole stage.
I know, but how many times have I said this is the worst version of AJ, and every time I'm right. He's always the worst. It's always the shit is worse. But this might be the worst because he's such a disrespectful little shit to Carmela.
As James says, they spoiled AJ so fucking bad. Alan says, you guys got to figure out all this math before you start your own executive game. Yes. KP says, one thing that's for sure is Phil is no fucking mob boss. You are right about that, KP. I couldn't even play one in a play. Like, I'm a decent actor if I play, generally around my character, and I can play maybe a sadder version of my character. But if I have to play tough in a scene, and this kid cast me as a mob boss, like a drug czar and a mob, it was some of the worst performing I ever did in my life because I just could not be believable as in that sort of situation. That's just not me. You know, I'm not saying I couldn't be in the planning, but I'm more of the guy that whispers to the dude barking the orders. You know, I'm far more of So this, fuck you, Carmela. Like, what about Artie? What about Artie? She doesn't even address that. Artie's his friend.
Here's your girl.
Who? Oh, there she is. No, that's my boy. I love how he makes. I love how he makes her Bogdanovich, great director, I believe. I believe that's his name. But I was gonna say Rudy. But he is an amazing little character in the show, Matt. And his, like, in this scene, making him say the word, making her say cunt, right? Cunt, right? I think Phil could play the mob boss in Cleaver. I think I could do that. I something over the top like that, Alan. I could do it. Sonic never had the makings of a varsity hedgehog. Uncle Phil and Uncle Matt, great to see you, my friend. Toast to you. Yeah, AJ was born handicapped. He was born stupid.
Oh God, he's the worst.
He was a dealer. Carmela is so right. Carmela is right. And so.
That smug cocksucker, yes. Alan, that's the line she uses on him.
Yeah, and it's so accurate. He is a smug fucking cocksucker.
Hello?
So, is this when he asked her out?
Hello, how are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job. Listen.
Look at her. She starts feeling herself right there, too. She's like, yeah, that's right. All the guys want me.
Yeah, are you asking me out? The boy. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Oh, my goodness.
Her milkshake brings the bears to the backyard, too, unfortunately.
They do. And Tony's a bear. He's a big bear.
Happy birthday by the Beatles.
I love AJ's such a turd in this scene. Like, she's really trying. And it's yeah, I love it. It is a drum solo.
Solo?
Fuck you.
It's the basic 4/4.
Fuck you, AJ. You don't know what you're talking about. AJ does not know what he's talking about.
Oh my God, the poor woman. She's trying to bond over Ringo and Pete Best.
Like, he's such an any drummer that doesn't think Ringo's awesome can go fuck themselves. That's all I'm saying.
Say it.
And I'm talking about even you.
That line right there. I didn't say that about Ringo. Nothing but love.
The best of the Beatles, right there. Fuck that. Don't talk shit about Ringo, Matt.
I won't. Phil, you watched that whole.
You're not horrible.
Oh, you watched that
Every second.
thing, right?
Every damn. Let it be one. Every damn second.
Yeah, that's what I meant. When Ringo comes out of that, you're like, no, Ringo's the best part of the Beatles. He's so fucking likable in that.
Yeah.
For 12 hours straight, or however long it was.
The perfect drummer for people to just jam with. Puts the fucking like towel over the snare drum so he doesn't hurt people's ears.
He's so even keeled. You can tell he's close with all of them.
He lets the kids play his drum set. He's just he's a sweetheart of a human being.
Phil, people say your volume's a bit high.
Oh, it's high. Oh, it's high. I'm high.
Oh, here's the game again.
It's this goddamn volume is fluctuating, Sonic, your boy. Like, every time I turn it down, it goes up. And then before it was going down. It's...
I think you got that ace, and I'm not paying.
Yeah, Ringo never. Pete Best forever. So I apologize for some of the volume fluctuations tonight, folks. Please always tell me if it gets too loud or too soft. Because it's... I wish I could show you what's happening. It's the volume slider keeps going up and then going down by itself. Tony's so annoyed with Feech in the scene.
Well, dude, he's like taking away from the game. Can you imagine playing a poker game and having to listen to that bullshit the whole time? From someone who's not in the game?
Yeah. Awful. I don't even like listening to people that are like in the game that aren't in the hand. I'm like, shut up if I'm in the hand sometimes.
Now, we did talk over it, but Carmela just gave him Tony that line about how he doesn't have any
real friends. Yeah, and
his only response is, "What about Artie?"
He does have Artie though. Like I have
does.
this thing. It's like I've had people. He does have Artie. Like fuck you in that situation. And he likes it. And that's part of it. I think he likes it. Mikey likes it.
God, I fucking hate you, AJ, and your stupid pony shirt.
Leave AJ alone. He's such a good kid, Matt.
decided to let you stay in the city after the concert.
God, and this supposed to, like, Phil, you and I don't have kids.
On one condition.
I can't imagine being her. Just like, all right, I got to try to like just trying to be connect with your fucking high school kid who wants no part of you. Like saying, okay, you can stay in the city, even though she definitely doesn't want him to.
Yep. I mean, it's just she was sort of in a no-win situation, and she was in a little bit of her own Kobayashi Maru.
Don't stay up too late.
Like, I get why she was trying to do this.
Yeah.
Seriously?
So, you guys like your job?
Yeah, exactly. You were talking about this, Matt. This is like a professional situation.
Yeah, and they talk about it, and he says that to him. I didn't come up with it, but for any of you who have never been to a Jewish wedding, that was actually Phil at his wedding, was up in the air like that.
Yeah. I think you had me up there.
No, I probably didn't, but
No, I think you did. I have a memory of looking down on you, but I always look down on you. Oh, except when it comes to marriage, you're still married. I'm not. Oh. This is what my divorce looked like too, Matt. This is very similar to what the divorce looked like too. We were dancing around like this. We got a divorce.
What is it?
Hey, it's a divorce.
It's not like an all-women wedding band too. I love it.
It's rocking. But, well, excuse me, the cars were stolen. No.
Nah, they made it way worse. There's been an armed robbery.
Automobiles were taken.
Let me see if this changes things. They only took the American cars. I mean, they didn't take the American cars.
Brooke, our car is gone. Now who's a genius for keeping his Regal?
They said they got the SL.
That was a fucking SL55 convertible.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds expensive, Matt.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know, SL something. I don't know if I can know. I don't know what independent snotty film that they're watching, but that's Alfred Molina and who's it? Was that?
I think it was Salma Hayek.
Was it Salma Hayek? Who Alan somewhere when we said that name just went, whoa. Every time the name Salma Hayek comes up, Alan can't help but go, whoa. It's an automatic sort of like response. I don't blame him, but I'm just saying, I'm sorry, Alan. Every time I say that, it's like the Pavlovian dog response. Salma Hayek.
James Moret, that was your favorite wedding episode?
No, what was the
best? My opinion of you as a man, just significant.
Oh, Johnny Sacks. Johnny Sacks. I like that wedding as well. That was one of my favorites too. But good job trying to get the line in, Matt. That was I know what you were trying to do. Theater's tough to do live. I mean, we're doing theater live here. You know.
I knew the first part. I can't even. My opinion of him as a man just plummeted, I think.
There it is, Alan's whoa. Yeah, you can't help it. It's not quite the Joey Lawrence. Whoa. So Meadow sticking up for her brother here, as somebody that has sisters.
Dude, so creepy watching Finn like do that though at the same time.
Yeah, he's thinking about he's worrying about Vito right now.
Yeah,
he's trying. But do you appreciate the sister sticking up for her brother here and lying for your life?
No, of course. Did you? We both lied for each other.
Did you guys? Yeah, I was gonna say, did you guys have each other? And I know the answer to that before I asked it, because because I know you guys are. I grew up very close to, or not very close, so I was closer to Matt, but close to Matt's sister as well. And they both were very much on each other's side. They very, very much had each other's back in the way that Meadow has. Because Matt's kind of stupid like AJ. That's why he hates it. Yeah. And Michelle's very smart. So.
But I'm the older one. That is.
Yeah, it's the only difference. Oh, there's AJ doing gravity bong hits. And he was never done it. But I've never been in a situation where people are treating weed like drinking, like drink, puff, 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 puff. Have you ever been in that kind of situation, like in your youth? If you ever experimented with such things, where
I've never smoked marijuana. So
yeah, I can't remember you ever doing it. Really?
No, you know why you can't remember?
Because it never happened.
Yeah, it's right.
I mean,
it's all that short-term memory loss.
Yeah, it's probably true. I've seen you have a beverage on occasion, but I've never seen you smoke anything, Matt, ever. Especially not while playing video game basketball until I pass out
in
our early 20s. No, definitely not.
There was also that awkward line when Tony said to him, "Oh, I didn't get my invitation." We missed that. We talked over it.
Whoa, it's Dr. Yakum and Spankum. No, sorry. Joey Lawrence is sexy, but no Salma Hayek. The painless dentist. Yeah, it never happened, Sonic Boy. Matt never did that. We never talked about. Do you know what was so funny, Matt? Side note on all of that, as Tony's dealing with the situation of the doctor's Feech fucking with his shit. I thought I was the only person on Earth that referred to our mutual hero Antoine Walker as Cybertwan. But do you know who else calls him that? Kevin Garnett.
Love it.
In his and Paul's podcast, whenever he comes up, he refers to him as Cybertwan.
I love it.
And it's because of Antoine that KG even came here. Like, KG was so against coming to Boston, and he called up Antoine at a wedding when they were trying to make the deal because they're buddies. And Antoine's like, yeah, let me connect you with Paul. And I got them on. He was like, you two would get along. And they've both I've heard Paul and KG tell this story, so I know it's not Antoine making it up. Antoine's very humble about it, but KG's like, yeah, I came to Boston because Antoine sort of connected me and was like, you guys are similar guys and you'll get along. And now they're doing a fucking hilarious podcast, and like those guys are great together. If anyone likes sports type stuff, KG and Paul Pierce are very funny together.
And I'm assuming you've seen the videos of Antoine sticking up for Paul and the whole Paul versus Dwayne Wade thing.
Yes. Yeah. But I love how Antoine and Paul have consistently, like, no matter what happened, like, I've even heard Paul say his own one regret is that Antoine wasn't on the team when they won, but he's excited that he won one in Miami, like all that sort of shit, like that kind of stuff. But anyways, so this is some of the most believable teenage stuff. Did you ever get in situations like this? Like, our friends weren't really like this. We didn't do that. Like,
and Phil, I don't. Here's the other thing: you and I weren't people they would have done this to, like of our friends. Like that's.
But we really, I can't remember any of our friends really doing stuff like this to each other. That we did other stuff to each other, but like not this kind of stuff, not like shaving stuff. And like, I know the kind of kids that did this shit, but we weren't friends with them. Right. Like, we wouldn't be friends with AJ growing up. I'd sell dime bags that were like not, like, didn't weigh enough.
He would have been.
I'd be selling oregano.
He would have been in our universe, but he wouldn't have get invited to Nikki C's thing.
No, he would, like, I want to say some names of people he would be like, but I'm not.
We don't need to.
I'm not going to do that out loud. But like, he would be someone.
We got to finish. How much time is left in this, by the way? Oh, there we go. All right.
He would be someone I would sell oregano to.
So he didn't tell Feech not to rob the doctor, but he did say the doctor is a friend of mine,
which is the key, which is the code word for don't fuck with him.
Yeah. All the Sopranos characters are assholes.
Yeah, they're all criminal assholes.
No, they're not.
Who isn't a fucking asshole? They're criminals. They're all fucking
I'm
murderers.
working on it. I'm working on it.
Bobby?
I'm working on it. I'll get there.
You're not there yet. There's not that many main characters, Matt. Meadow?
Adriana.
She wouldn't do 2 years in prison for Christopher. She's a rat.
She is a rat.
She's a rat, dude. Sorry. And I know people are like, oh, you're so immature. I might not be a boss, but she's a fucking rat. You don't talk, Matt.
I'm thinking of who it could be.
You got one yet?
No.
You got one? Artie? No.
Artie.
Charmaine.
Charmaine's no, she's an asshole to Artie.
She's an asshole to Artie. Who's not an asshole? Adriana is an asshole. Meadow, yep, John Haymaker. Meadow's on that list too. Bobby is the closest one.
What sisters are supposed to do.
Right there's what sisters are supposed to do. He cursed at me. She knows exactly. I think she thinks Tony's gonna fucking whip his little ass.
This line when he doesn't know.
Oh yes,
I love this.
Yeah, if you're some peculiarity towards something, like his whole vibe here is fucking hilarious, Matt. I agree.
What's different about you?
You look like Bob Geldof in The Wall. Like, what's up with you? He does kind of look like the Wall character. It's funny how you just lose your eyebrows and you look like Pink. I'm getting loud again.
Tony sells her out here so bad though, because he turns on
quickly,
Carmela.
dude. Very quickly.
It's so fucked up.
Melfi is a decent person, but she's still kind of an asshole the way she handles some situations. and the way she loses her temper a lot, the way she's handling the Tony situation, she cuts him off. I think she cuts him off in kind of a cold way after all the support she had. It's kind of an asshole move. But Melfi's close. Melfi might be it.
Okay, but Phil, to that end, like, think of where we're from.
Yep.
People are assholes by default.
Yep.
On the North Shore.
It's in our name.
And like in New Jersey's the same thing. Like, I think there's kind of like
How can anyone believe what you say? Because I told you.
yeah. What's the baseline? What's the baseline for asshole in this universe? Like, that's kind of the question. I don't know.
People that grew up in our town, probably.
Yeah, a couple people
Dude, honestly, yes. The
So
base.
he's righteous. He's righteous.
didn't do any drugs.
Are you talking about Alan's quote?
No. What I was just about to say was the baseline for asshole is someone that grew up in our town, in our class, in our grade, that is now the world famous asshole. That's the baseline for asshole.
Sure.
He is the baseline for asshole right now,
Yeah.
and he grew up in our.
Dude, too soon. We don't talk about Cosette.
And he grew up in our town and in like our situation. That's all I'm saying. You know, like and I'm not hyperbolizing there. You know, that's just like, that's the truth. Like the biggest asshole in the country, you know, famous, lovable asshole right now, we grew up with.
Right.
You know, like so that's what an asshole is, Matt. Us. We're
That's all I'm saying. So it's like, but like within as the baseline.
Oh, cause that was an ass. I didn't see that, John Haymaker, too soon.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I know.
Alan, you're right, but I don't know if he was very blunt to her in a way that maybe a therapist shouldn't be, which kind of maybe makes him an asshole. He's definitely righteous, though. It's like the one line of clarity in the entire show.
I mean, Hesh seems to be a good person, I guess. Seemingly.
No, I don't think so. You're saying that because
No,
he's part of the tribe.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying because James Lorenz, if you're a friend of Tony, you're off limits already in Hesh. And like, Hesh does some decent things throughout the series, I guess. Cosette was an asshole.
It's different.
That's messed up.
Bad dog. She shouldn't have climbed up. She shouldn't have climbed into Christopher like that. We got Shorty Womp Womp, the Jersey Princess. Nope. I think nope as in Hesh wasn't a good character. Hesh was not a good person. So the Jersey Princess is sort of our like final say here in this show. So nope. Nope is right. And great to see you, Shorty Womp Womp, as always.
This is...
Who's about to roll him? Oh yeah, this scene. I forgot about that. This is basically when
This is it.
and this is where they both have white hair. Where Feech finally realizes how deep he's in, and he tries to. This is where we see that Feech is smarter than Richie. And they both get it, but they both get it too late. Maybe Richie would have got it long term, and if Janice didn't
Kill him, but like Feech really kind of gets this through this scene. And sorry for the volume fluctuation. I got really loud there again for a second, but I'm back to normal. Hesh is not good. Fine, Hesh is not good. He's a horrible person too. They're all horrible people. Is anyone on this show a good person? The biggest ones that we have so far are Melfi. The biggest argument we can have for is for Melfi.
We can't even say the priest is.
No, Father Phil sucks. Father Phil sucks.
What the fuck are you talking about? The Lord cut. I don't have to send you a memo every time I move my bowels.
Oh my God. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Well, that's the other thing that puts him over the edge is the Johnny Sack. Like, what do you mean? You're getting close to Johnny Sack all
Yep.
of a sudden? Like,
Yeah,
that's a...
especially right now with what's
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah, Johnny Sack. Anyway, he gave me a better deal.
That just shows that, again, what we were talking about earlier, how he has the ability to facilitate and work around Tony and go to Tony's connections. And if Johnny Sack thinks he can work with Hesh better than work with Hesh, second time I did that, work with Feech is better than he can work with Tony, that gives Johnny Sack an opportunity to sort of plant a flag in New Jersey and take ownership and kept Tony out of there. Like, again, Tony has to consider all those things as a boss, and he does in that moment. And Feech realizes it all right here. But it's too late. It's too late right here. But Feech realizes, you see the look on his face. He realizes it.
He also suffers from the same thing that Richie did, which is like shit changed in 20 years, however long he was away. Like, it really, really changed.
Shorty and Fu have a suggestions. Artie kind of, and Barbara is good. Barbara is good.
Artie, no, because he keeps trying to bang every cock.
Yeah, he was trying to bang the Armanek girl, Adriana, and what he does with the whole Benny situation, the Benny girl. Oh, that's the Benny girl, right? No, that's a different girl, right? No, yeah, that's an even different girl. Like what Valentine? No,
yeah, there's a bunch of different girls.
Martina's her name. The Martina, it goes down nice and easy. But yeah, that's
Pauly's Guma. What the hell's her name? The one from
Scrubs.
From Scrubs, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know her name on the show, but her name in real life is, because I'm a huge Scrubs fan, it is.
I know you are. Isn't it Carla on the show?
It's Carla on the show. It's, oh God, why am I blanking on her name? I'm blanking on her name, but yes, Carla. So right there in that moment, he realizes that he's not going to fall in line. He's always going to have an agenda. He saw Scarface.
All right, I'm not going to argue the stripper was a good person. Dude, she was like pregnant and definitely doing a lot of coke with Ralphie.
Fair. Is Hunter a good person?
Yeah, James. The look on Silvio's face when he says Johnny Sack, he just knows.
He's like, you're dead. Like, I think that's the look he gets on his face, James. He goes, he's dead. I think KP has that 100% right. I think it's also kind of Breaking Bad to a certain extent, but yeah.
It's so weird how Tony gets like emotional here, though.
Because he's a legend, dude.
I know.
He actually means something to me. He's the last connection. Especially
he looked up to him probably for a whole bunch of his life, and
And with Junior going crazy, that dude's one of the last connections to the old school Soprano family. And he could, in the way Tony's thinking, is that's wasted talent right there. You know, that's somebody that could have been special, but isn't.
Jenny Sack was not nice. She was hiding. What about the Atkins?
What about the candy bars? Like, do you realize what you're doing, Jenny? Did you realize?
And I would say any of those wives that are that high up know that they're enabling.
How about rest in peace, toast, Rosalia Prio? Rest in peace to the beautiful.
No, because she again was married to a boss. She knew what she was supporting. They're all.
Feech buys this. What? You're right, Matt. By the way, Feech buys this hook, as Hans Gruber would say, hook, line, in sinker. Like, I think that's Hans Gruber. That's a horrible German accent. But whatever. I'm buzzed. He buys this hook, line, and goddamn sinker.
See, he just...
John Haymaker, thank you, Matt. Having an eating problem doesn't make you an asshole. Jenny Sack is a good person.
That's lying to her husband.
I love you, Matt.
And Feech is just so addicted to the action, like he can't
not, and they play right into him, right into that.
And I would like to say this for anyone that doesn't live in like New Jersey or New York. Phil and I live in a town, or grew up in a town next to a town that was very Italian, and those brick houses that, like, you know how Revere just looks different. It looks like
and
there's,
in East
there's parts of it that are
in East Boston, and in some parts of Everett too. Like that whole area was very much like Italian Central and Mafia Central. They were offshoots up here, and we've talked about this before. Again, someone we went to high school with, family. We're not going to mention the family, mention anything, but they were very much connected to.
They were Tony Soprano.
They were the glorified crew, which was the New England crew compared to all of that. But they were there was a boss and a whole family, and they ran in that whole area. They ran out of that area. Their names have actually been mentioned in Whitey Bulger movies because they were adversaries of Whitey Bulger at the time. So yeah, and we both Alan in the chat and us went to school with family members of that situation. Matt has to he did some what's his name, Vinny Del Pino from Doogie Howser there, Benny. He definitely took some of the Gary Coleman Webster stuff right there. He has a little bit of that going on. He stayed a child actor forever. He never grew past Vinny Del Pino size. Vinny Del Pino is definitely an asshole. How is Ginny nice? She's not nice. She's also an asshole. She's not. I think it's just more the personality. Someone that's benefiting off crime knowledgeably automatically kind of makes you an asshole, because you're either compartmentalizing on another level, or you're saying, I don't care that my husband makes money racketeering, beating people up, killing people.
Especially, dude, and she sees John come home that night covered in blood after he beats up someone. I forget who it is who he beats up, but it has something to do with the
missing leg. Oh, you're right. Tony's girlfriend's cousin with the missing leg was not good, but she was almost good. I think her and her husband, her specifically, yes, she cheated on her husband, but I think she ultimately was a smart, capable person. The therapist that tells Carmela to get the fuck out of the situation. We're talking over this a little bit, but we talked about this in the first episode too. This guy is on the mission to seduce. Do you think he sees something in Carmela, or do you think he gets a thrill that he's sort of feels like he can?
Dude, I think he's an idiot. Like,
do you think he can just seduce the mafia wife? You think that just gets him off? Like that, essentially that vibe. Like he's like, oh, I can fucking hook up with the mafia girl. This is hot. Like,
it makes no sense. Why would he want to do that to himself? Like, he knows what he's getting himself into.
Maybe he doesn't, though. Maybe he thinks that Tony was sort of like, I think he really just likes her. He's charmed by her sort of Barbara Streisand, vibe or whatever.
Oh, I love this. See you later, Feech.
And he knows it so quick. He's like, oh, fuck. There's a certain point in time, once the guy asks about the garage, he's like...
The garage, he knows he's fucked. He has it shot up until then.
But, he thinks... he realized, I think, at that point that he's been had.
Does it cross through his mind at any point to kill this guy?
Wouldn't it you?
Yeah.
I think once he asks about the garage, you almost have to.
You almost have to.
But then you're lambing it. And he might not have enough money to lamb it at this point because he just came back into action.
And he loves it. He loves this action.
And he knows how to work in prison at this point.
Exactly. He's probably fine in prison. Because he tells the story about, I grabbed the biggest, blackest, blah, blah, blah. In the old episodes that we did, episode 1 or 2.
Yep. So he's just like, okay, I'm back. He hasn't been out long enough to really be reinstituted into the world. He's still institutionalized. So to him, it sucks, but he's like, okay, he probably sees it as they respected me not to kill me.
He's not having wine and peaches though.
No, maybe he might have a good thing going on there.
Listen, I've heard that whole scene in Goodfellas is not accurate.
Yeah, it was a little embellished.
Yeah.
But you got to figure that in some way he probably understands that he could have been killed and this was a choice not to kill him. Artie. So Artie's the one. I just want to be clear. Artie's the one farting in the scene. Okay.
No, he's not. I think it's Tony. One of the Tonys.
No, it's definitely not Tony B. Because Tony B runs out of the room. I think it's Artie. The way Artie's smiling.
Probably is.
It is Artie. Let's get a couple of chats. Peaches and Cream. Any story that starts with she cheated on her husband but isn't a nice person. Yeah, sorry, KP. You're right. You got called me out. You're right. You know who is good? The cop that pulled the black cop. Yeah, the Rock. Pulled over Tony and ended.
That's what I was gonna say. Did someone say that?
Yeah, KP said that. Yeah, he's a good.
Yeah, 100%. That was gonna be my example, but he's not really a character in the show. I don't.
But he is probably one of the most moralistic characters we've seen on the show, for sure, for 100%.
To his own demise.
Yes, and they showed that in this world. They made a point to make sure the most moralistic person got fucked in the fucking ear. It's just it's ridiculous. Carmela is another notch. Yeah. So Alan says he thinks that dude just bangs all the kids' mom. He's like Father Philish, is a schnorrer with all the mob wives. This dude just fucks all the moms, single moms, or the moms going through separations or divorces.
Yeah, but dude, you are playing with fire. It is so. What's his name? Figured that out really quickly.
But Tony, he already probably can calculate. This dude's smart enough. They can calculate that Tony doesn't look at him as a threat. He's not even gonna think about it. How is Tony really gonna find this out?
Sure.
He doesn't even notice Furio fucking her for a whole season and a half right in front of him. Tony's not very aware when it comes to anything that isn't due to with business. This is the point I was talking about earlier where you see he's done with Christopher. At least that's the vibe I get here. He's done with Christopher. Because still makes it a point to be like, Christopher agrees.
That's nice that he agrees.
Yeah, that response is just I'm done with Christopher. At least that's what I take from it.
Yeah, but he's had that a bunch of times. There's other times when he's grabbed him when Christopher had the thing around his neck and he grabs him and he's like,
so at what point
if you love me or not?
What point does he decide that Christopher can't be that number 2 and Bobby's going to do it? Because at some point he switches between the two of them. He ends up deciding that Bobby's his number.
We're gonna have to watch because I really
is it with the Adriana thing?
I haven't watched a lot of season 6,
or it might be Cleaver. It might be the Cleaver thing. Where
could be Cleaver. He doesn't like the fact that he's over there doing the movies. A lot of it has to do with his sobriety when he's like, you're not around as much. And he's like, I can't be around. But then he would like break it and start drinking again. It's
a good Bialy. That's a weird scene right there. I noticed it on my first watch the other day, and I'm noticing it now. The Sopranos will occasionally do a cheesy scene like that where she just gets a quick flashback to her childhood self watching AJ on the big wheels. That being said, anyone who's not, when you're a little kid, ridden with the big wheels down a steep hill has never lived. Like Matt grew up on a very big hill. Like I used to ride down that hill like before you even lived there on a big wheel, and that shit was fun.
Oh yeah. I don't think they have big wheels anymore. So thanks for making us look really old.
Oh, we are really old. I mean, it's not. I mean,
you're not wrong.
There's a reason why they call us Uncle. Okay, so we're gonna jump in the chat and take a lot of chat. Matt, humor me for a minute and a half because our good buddy who's in the chat right now, KP, did not left a message the other night that I want to hear what he has to say.
House of the Dragon is amazing. It's an amazing story written by an amazing man, and we ought not slander that body of work.
Fuck Joe.
Yeah, there's some weird creative changes that they made in the show. Yeah.
Thank you, KP. I'll listen to that later because I want to get Joe on it too, and I want to top this Soprano episode. So Matt, are you a fan of, because of your Buscemi slander, you probably...
I love these episodes because there's so little Buscemi.
Right, you think that these episodes are probably some of the better episodes in season 5, right?
Yeah, I also think it gets rushed the way they get Tony B out of there. Like, he goes crazy. All the murders he does don't always make sense, like, because he's not thinking right. So I don't love a lot of the Tony B stuff. But yeah, what was your question going to be? I don't know, because I just interrupted with my hatred of Tony B.
Oh no, I forgot what my question was. But we'll get in the live chat and read, and I'll try to catch up on this stuff. Robert Loja was having trouble with his lines during filming. Yeah, Richie, and it's sad. He was having some pre-Alzheimer's / dementia type stuff that was hurting his ability to line read. And David Chase does not like improv, so he couldn't kind of just make stuff up and to go between lines in the way that he was doing in some of his actor fire words. And so it was just a bad situation. When I first watched I thought Tony was going to whack him. I think a lot of people did, so it was good to sort of fuck with expectations in that situations. Best scene ever is Christopher's intervention. Great scene. He does end up killing Christopher. I think a lot of it has to do with not even just doing the movie, Matt, but when he sees it, Carmela, we'll watch that later, but Carmela sort of unlocks Tony's mind that some part of the conversation that he's having or some part of the movie is subconsciously Christopher's urge to kill him. And then Christopher ends up fucking with, it's a whole bunch of shit. Oh, we got a text from Gotti. It's Gotti. Wasn't Robert Loja thing from Family Guy that was really, oh yeah, it was a Family Guy joke. Yeah, I knew that was somewhere.
No, but the Family Guy thing was based on something that really did happen. There wasn't, all right, I'm going to look for it right now.
Okay, everybody. We're gonna open up the phone lines briefly here for a while. If anyone wants to call on in, now's the time. 781-990-8509. Again, that phone number is 781-990-8509. If you have any questions or comments about The Sopranos or anything you want to ask Matt and I, we'll do that. We'll keep Matt on for about 10, 15 more minutes here and keep it on. See if we get any calls. If we don't, also keep your chats, keep questions in the live chat, and we'll keep talking about this. Our next episodes lead a little bit more into Adriana stuff for the remainder of the season, which ultimately ends up the conclusion mixed with the New York mob stuff. July might be.
I don't know if you. I'm sorry. I don't know if you can click on it. I'm totally just interrupting you. I just put the link to the Robert Loja thing that was a real, actual commercial. The Family Guy thing was making fun of this thing. I don't even think you can use the link. I'm such an old man. Yeah, you know how I said we're old.
Yeah, no, you're fine. You are, but you're fine.
I'm the PSW Shock handle that's in there. That. Yeah, if you guys want to watch that, if you're there, that's the Robert Loja thing.
So when Christopher stepped away from the Bing and did the movies, that was when Tony decided he couldn't count on Christopher. Robert Loggia was having trouble with lines. Tony B was going to last longer, but they backed themselves in the corner when he killed Phil's brother. Yeah. Oh, we do have a phone call. Matt, we're going to take a live call, Matt.
Oh my God.
This is from our good buddy KP. What's up, KP? How you doing tonight, buddy?
Good night. Good evening to everybody. Phil, Matt, everybody in the chat. Yo, I don't have much to say about Sopranos. I just wanted to call in to say how impressed I was with your steel pan playing.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Keep practicing. You'll get good. And when you come down to the island, I'll take you to a steel pan band, and they'll teach you how to play properly.
Oh, that would be amazing, KP. That would be like a dream come true, my friend.
I have a friend. His name is Joshua Regrello.
I thought you were just gonna say Junior Soprano for a second.
No. He did a 31-hour live stream playing pan for all 31 hours.
Damn.
And like a world record, stupid, marketing ploy thingy. But it was kind of cool that he did it. But yeah, that's all I have to say. On your question, is anybody on this show good? No, nobody on this show is good except for the black cop that pulled Tony over that one time, and Tony got mad and told his friend busted down his hours, and he ended up selling Christmas trees. You remember that guy?
Yeah, that dude was awesome. We were talking about him a few seconds ago. He was a great pick.
Was a good guy.
He really was. He was actually a moralistic dude.
And so, good in this TV show kind of shows that good is dangerous. Being good puts you in a very dangerous position where people can take advantage of you because you're not willing to do things that. And it's a very, very odd thing if people that are in business will know. Being good is a good way of losing your shirt in business. It's very, very interesting.
Yeah.
I think the whole point of this is to show that everybody is kind of an asshole.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think that's what part of the reason why this show took off at the time, because it wasn't normal to watch a show where everyone was a fucking asshole and everyone was kind of a bad person that was on their selfish agenda. Television was usually happy people, doing happy things.
Exactly. There was no golden boy protagonist that you could be like, oh yeah, that's the guy that's going to change things and make things good. Nope, everybody
exactly, sucks. KP. Exactly.
And anybody that you thought didn't suck, when you put them in a situation where they had to do something that sucked, they did the thing that sucked till it survived. Everybody, every single person. And if they didn't do it, you saw them very quickly die. Even oh my God, one of Meadows' boyfriend who saw the one guy having relations.
Yeah, Finn, that dude. And then there was the
Dr. Yankums.
Dr. Yankums. I'll stick those teeth out. And then the dude that was Paul, Dick Barone's kid. There was this kid that was just this nice kid that was an athlete, used to do rowing. And Paulie didn't like that his mother was loyal to him, and he broke the dude's arm and leg. It's every time we see a nice person on the show, they get injured viciously in some way or emotionally. It's horrible. It's horrible, KP. But you know what's not horrible? Your call, as always, my friend. It's great to hear from you.
All right, you guys have a good night. I'm gonna stay watching.
You too, buddy. Great to Great to talk to KP as always. And we'll stay on for a few more minutes if anyone else wants to call in. 781-990-8509. I always say it too fast, Matt. James, Tony B was going to but Steve Buscemi was a great actor, but Tony B's character was rushed with holes in the story. I agree with Matt. I do think that, I don't know if I'm biased because I just like Steve Buscemi so much that I sort of autocorrect in my brain to a Steve Buscemi type and just go shut the fuck up, Donnie, to everyone that doesn't like the performance, Matt. But I can't say I don't, as I said earlier, see a small percentage of poochiness in there. And people know what I mean, Poochie with The Simpsons, with a character that just pops in at the last minute and is oh, that character's been here all the time. Oh, you don't.
But he gets to the point where he's going to open his massage parlor. He's there. He has it set up. Everything's going to happen, and then he freaks out and beats up the.
But isn't that believable in life? That sometimes you're right at that point, Matt, and then you fuck it up emotionally because you can't quite be a good boyfriend. You can't quite keep the job. You can't quite keep the situation. You emotionally lose it because you're used to another life, and the other thing was so easy. Alan, I think you're calling me on my phone number. It's 781-990-8509. Not the other thing. That's my line. It's actually a little different if you want to call in, Alan. 781-990-8509. Yeah, I see you.
I'm definitely going to call him Al Dog when he calls in.
Alan's calling, but he's calling my phone number, which he has a little inside baseball situation. Sounds
like the numbers are pretty fucking close.
My real cell phone number is very damn close to the call-in line. The call-in line is the same exact line except for the first three numbers. Actually, the second two numbers. I'll go that far. The first number of my phone is also 9. It's 781-9, but the phone line to call in, Alan, is 781-990. No, he's doing it again. He's calling this line. Let me see if I can call him.
See if he might have a separate question for you and doesn't want to be on.
No, he wants to be on. I know for a fact he wants to. He's trying to call in the show.
Well, he just said he tried calling about Tony B.
Yeah, see, I'm gonna.
Alan, listen. Phil's saying this again. You're gonna have to keep listening. He has a different phone.
No, I'll call him. Tell him we'll call Alan.
We're calling you, Alan.
781. I'm not gonna say this out loud.
Seriously.
I'm not saying it out loud. It was hard not to, Matt. It was hard not. Do you know how hard this was? Not to do this. Not to actually just say the number. And how do I? I've never actually called someone on this thing before. Is it working? Here we go. We've actually. Hello. Is this Alan of I don't know.
Al Dog.
Yeah, it's the Alan of the M Allens. Welcome to the show, Alan.
Okay, I think that you have Tony B. Not you. I think we might agree on Tony B. But I think Matt has it wrong, or everybody is like Tony B's character arc is all choppy or something. He's there to give you insight into Tony's relationship with his family, and that's what I think his character serves.
What do you think about that, Matt?
I got to watch the rest of season 5.
But I think the story is choppy, and that you think you're going one way, but like I said, he's there to serve Tony Sopranos. His relationships with his family, how he feels about his childhood.
But don't they kind of do that with Janice already?
Guilty about Tony B going to jail.
They kind of do that with Janice already. I see what you're saying, but it seems like that was they forced another version of that in there because you do that a little bit with Artie, a little bit with Syl, a little bit with Janice. So I don't mind.
And it's super awkward how he's never mentioned once. And then Tony's best friend from when he was a kid is there, and they're all talking about him. And I know they kind of make a joke about how come we don't know who this guy is, but
But they never mentioned Richie or Feech before they got out of jail.
Very fair point, Alan. Very fair.
No. They mentioned
Feech, didn't they?
They mentioned Feech.
They mentioned Feech a lot. Richie actually mentioned Feech.
Yeah.
But and I think at least you could say they mentioned Richie in the way that they mentioned Jackie. So they mentioned an Aprio previously, where where Tony is just the unknown cousin. I guess I'm in between in the sense that I like the performance. I think Buscemi pulls it off. I think he has chemistry with the cast because he obviously directed some episodes and that kind of stuff. But I do think the introduction to him was slightly poochy. It was slightly hey, here he is. He's showing up, and he's
poochy,
and he's gonna leave. He's gonna leave now for no apparent reason.
I love it when Tony beats the crap out of the Chinese laundry guy.
Yes,
that's what I was talking about. When that's the breaking point when he's just done.
Yep, and it's a good moment. It's a good moment, and
and he's not Chinese, Alan. It's a little racist, but that's fine. We're gonna let it slide.
Well, he was Korean, wasn't he? Fuck.
Yeah. No. Flush down the toilet of society. No, you tried. Okay, did Tony have the makings of a varsity mob boss? 80% say yes, 20% say no, and yes, he is. Alan, do you think
I voted yes. I voted yes.
You think Tony is a good mob boss from what we've seen in other television movies?
Well, I think he can play on Varsity. That's what I'm saying. You know,
who is the best television or movie mob boss that you've ever seen?
Who's the best?
Yep.
Michael Corleone.
Michael Corleone, unquestionable. Michael Corleone, Psycho Assassin, better than Vito. Michael's better than Vito.
Yeah, Michael was a little bit more. His view was wider than his father's. He could see further and business dealings with.
How about Donnie Brasco?
Tier.
He's your best friend. He's your best friend, Alan. He's your no. I think how about a big boy from Dick Tracy? I'm just picking other Al Pacino characters. So
big boy.
Probably, I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. The other ones we've seen would be like in Goodfellas or which Paulie, I guess, is the only boss we see there, and the bosses in Casino are kind of bloodthirsty but not really memorable.
And we don't really see them. They're not integral parts of the movie. In Casino,
in Casino, they are. They're a big part of the movie.
Yeah, they're not. The show's not told from their side though, or anything like that.
No, but they're the ones that ultimately to the denouement at the end and kill everybody. And
we only see. I think we only see their interaction with those two guys. Though we don't see their interaction.
No, we see all of them. We go to Kansas City. We hang out in their thing in Kansas City. We hang out with Gaji. We actually learn why he's protecting De Niro's character because he's a fucking degenerate gambler, and we see that he's the head of all of the other ones, and he kind of controls it. I'm not saying they're huge, but the bosses are a factor in the movie Casino.
Oh, they're a factor. They call the shots, but I don't.
Phil,
I don't consider them the main characters.
No, definitely not in the way that we see in kind of Goodfellas. I'm trying to think of what other mob bosses or controllers of organizations that we've seen in television and movies that are worth mention that could compete with Michael Corleone. Tony Soprano, maybe.
Myself, I'm blanking on mob movies.
Tony Soprano,
Fat Tony from The Simpsons.
Yeah, Fat Tony from The Simpsons. He has the longest reign of any mafia boss. Joey Zaza from Godfather 3, from Joe Mantegna.
Same actor as The Simpsons.
Yeah. Right? Oh yes, you're right, Alan. He is the same actor as The Simpsons.
Joe Mantegna.
Mantegna, yeah. So I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm looking outside. Scarface, I guess. Would you say Tony Montana was if we're going outside the mafia and just like mob bosses or like criminal bosses?
Like Marcellus Wallace or someone like that.
The Shredder. The Shredder from Ninja Turtles. He's a pretty dominant force. You can't fuck with the Shredder.
Why we must be missing some mob movie here. There's got to be some. I mean, the bosses in contention here.
Memorably, the two. The band Wasted Talent. What's his name? The dude from The Neighborhood in Bronx Tale
Oh yeah.
Of course. Sonny.
Chaz Palminteri.
Yeah.
Chaz Palminteri, but Sonny, yeah.
Sonny. He was a good boss.
Sonny.
He had the makings of a varsity mob boss, I think.
Yeah, he could have he could have been something special. I mean, we've seen Capone in several things. We've seen De Niro playing Capone in Untouchables, which is, I guess, worth mentioning, and Capone in Boardwalk Empire. Alto Knights.
You have guys in like
the Alto Knights, Robert De Niro playing both bosses. Absolutely Studio G. That's a great pick right there.
Like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, stuff like that, where it's like different. It's not really Italian mafia, which.
Oh, The Penguin.
Oh yes, dude. Matt, have you watched The Penguin yet?
I have not.
Check it out. Check
it out.
You're not gonna hate it. You're not gonna hate it. It's not too Batman for you. It's not too superhero-y for you.
Although Batman is one
but
of.
He shows up. He's a varsity player.
Yes, the Penguin is a varsity mafia player, and it's Alan. That's an excellent point. And also, it's hard now to make something mafia and make it believably awesome. And
100%.
Because everything's been done so much. So the Penguin to do something interesting and new and kind of cool with it is mentionable, is like worth giving it a special gold star because it takes a lot and it has one of my like television crushes on it. So with Christine
Melody.
Oh God, dude. You ever hear her sing?
Yeah.
You ever hear her sing? She can really sing too.
No.
Next time you come over, look up her on How I Met Your Mother. She plays the mother. She sings Lavina Rose in an episode, and she performs a lot. Like if you want to go on a cool rabbit hole, check out her singing. She's a beautiful singer. Beautiful.
Do you watch Black Mirror?
Yes, I've seen her episode. It's great.
Yeah.
But I didn't see the second one yet because I'm going to watch it now because I just signed up for my summer Netflix because the end of Squid Games is coming and Stranger Things at the end of June. Not June. A couple months. Stranger Things is coming.
Phil, you didn't do a season 2, what's it called? Did you, or season 1 of Severance? You never did that, right?
No, but
Severance waffle party.
Yeah, do you have a few seconds to talk about Severance, Matt? What are your thoughts? Do you like season 2?
Are you asking me? I just asked.
Yeah. No, I'm asking you because I know what Alan thought. Did you like season 2?
Yeah, there was some weird episodes. I think the episode of going back to
Severance spoilers for anyone that cares.
Yeah, Severance spoilers for anyone that cares. But going to Patricia Arquette's like that episode was really weird.
Yeah, I liked it though. I kind of liked it though.
I think the ending was
Mr. I don't know. When growing up, I had some friends that were dumb enough to like huff dust off, so it was a kind of believable episode.
Who could that be?
I don't know. Some dumbasses do that shit sometimes.
Joey G or K.
Remind me to tell you something. Remember to tell you something next time you're here, Alan. But anyways. But yeah, so it was kind of believable. But as a whole, did you enjoy the season as much as you enjoyed season 1? Kind of just as a general whole.
I think I loved the ending of season 2. I did like the way. I think it all paid off. Which I didn't know if it was going to, but it did. I wanted to season 2. Like, how are they even going to do this? How are they going to make a season 2? Like, it all got blown up at the end of season 1.
Do you know who didn't like it?
You?
No.
Who?
Take a guess.
Phil? Joe?
Yeah, Joe hated it, but we don't have to talk about Joe.
Does he hate everything?
He kind of does hate everything. Joe Pesci played a great mob boss in The Irishman. I have to watch The Irishman again, Richie. The first time I watched it, I don't think it sold on me quite enough.
I'm the same way with The Irishman, definitely.
But I feel like I owe it another sit down and watch because I love Scorsese's movies so much by nature. But I really was bored the first time I watched it. I can't lie. I think it just seemed like a bunch of uninspired kind of performances. But again, maybe it was my mindset. I was going through a lot of shit at the time I watched it the first time, so I could have brought out some of my emotion into watching it. That being said, I agree with both you guys. Severance is fucking amazing. But Alan, what were you gonna say?
It seemed like familiar territory when I was watching The Irishman. Like that whole crew of guys had done something, at least tangentially related to, mob, stuff.
Absolutely.
Scorsese, De Niro, Pesci, whatnot.
Do you know what it's a credit? I agree with 100% what you just said there. Matt, do you know what the credit to how good Severance is that people don't realize this because, Matt, we see Matt twice a year sometimes 9 times a year, but Matt doesn't give a lot of new shows a try. So the fact that Matt is actually watching Severance is a lot. Yeah, like you've watched like 5 shows in your life. Like you like The Americans, Breaking Bad, The Sopranos, and Severance. Like probably something else too. But those 4 I know are like you're basically the show. And Seinfeld. Those 5 shows are the 5 shows I know you like.
I've watched more at this point. It's just my wife's seen every show there is no.
Yeah, Jen has much more of a wide palette. So
but she'll just watch them without me. She went and watched Mad Men behind my back. It was so messed up. I've still never forgiven her for that.
Oh, that's such a great show. You should watch that.
Did you watch the studio? You watch the studio at all?
I haven't. I've heard Joe watches it. He says it's awesome.
Yeah, there's just so many random characters in it, and the last 2 episodes are 2 of the funniest episodes of any show you'll ever see.
Either you guys watch Murderbot? I haven't watched it yet, but I hear good things about it.
I haven't watched it.
No, it's another Apple Plus show, I believe. Apple Plus has been putting out some good shows. Did you ever watch, Matt, have you watched Shrinking?
I watched the first season. I didn't watch the second season.
Second season is even better.
Okay. I liked the first season. I don't know if I loved it.
It's emotional. It's a kind of emotion. It's a heavy show. It's a dramedy kind of show. It's heavy. But what I like about it is after years and fucking years of seeing Harrison Ford bored in these big budget films, seeing him actually interested in a project he's working in is really kind of inspiring to watch because Harrison Ford's actually trying. as a performer. We are watching the new Dexter series when it comes out on Teflon TV. I'll be doing reviews of it. It has an amazing cast. Neil Patrick Harris, Jessica Jones, Kristen Ritter from Breaking Bad as well. Fucking Uma Thurman is on it. Tyrion Lannister, Peter Dinklage is on it. It's a really interesting cast in this next season of Dexter. For anyone that's Dexter fans that might want to come back to it. Alan, any last words on this episode of The Sopranos or anything else? Any love you want to protest to Matt? Because I think it's the first time you guys have talked.
Well, actually, I wanted Matt to pass my love on to Jen.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, Dick.
Isn't this the first time? This is the first time you guys have talked in a couple of years, though, right? Probably a long time.
We would occasionally like message each other, but it's been ages.
But that was just pornographic. Most of that.
Yeah,
stuff.
usually.
Yeah.
Alan, am I going to see you next month, Alan?
Yes, you will.
Fantastic. Good. I'm happy. I'm happy to hear that you're going to be there.
And
all right, now this got awkward and quiet.
With myself for being there, but I'll get into the spirit.
And on one of these upcoming Sopranos casts, I'll coordinate to have Alan be here, so maybe we can all do one together, like the old. days.
Here's one.
Like the old days.
A question just for either. Have you seen this Adam Sandler sports movie called Hustle?
Yes, I have.
I have not, but I know what it is.
It's a good movie. It's pretty good. It's not as good as Uncut Gems, which is also a very good movie if you haven't seen it. Alan, I don't know if you've seen Uncut Gems.
No, I haven't.
It's another Adam Sandler movie that's like that.
It's another Adam Sandler sports drama movie that's very much worth watching. And both.
I didn't even know that was a sports thing. Huh.
Yeah. No. Uncut Gems isn't a sports movie. It isn't a sport. Is it? No, it's not a sports movie.
I'm shaking my head like I've watched it. I haven't seen either one of them. I know what they are, though. The problem is I don't watch stuff on my own. If Jen doesn't want to watch it, it doesn't get watched because I just don't watch it on my own.
Fair.
Yeah, guys. Anyone here who's leaving at this point, I don't know why you'd still be here. It's just us three doofuses that I haven't talked to Alan in ages. So thank you for sticking around as long as you did.
Yeah, no, thank you. We definitely appreciate it. Let me see what the fuck am I doing here? Wait, give me 1 second here. I'm messing around with sounds trying to find some. This is the song I'm looking for. So everybody, if you haven't already and you enjoyed this shit, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share this shit with a friend. Do all that stuff you got to do to keep it going out. I want to thank Alan, thank KP, thank Big Daddy Matt. We'll definitely not be another year. Maybe we'll try to come back in August because I know July is going to be tough and busy for both of us. But maybe the end of July, beginning of August, we'll do our next Sopranos cast. Thank you to the amazing Phyllis for her messages. Thank you for KP. Yep. Thank you for Studio 11. We have boring lives too. That's why I'm going live right here. And this is the highlight of my motherfucking week. Thank you, everybody. Love you guys. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Alan, you don't have to leave.
Yeah, no, he did leave.